Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. Villain. Take a concubine to become stronger, marry the protagonist's mother at the beginning. Chapter 1. Profound Heaven Continent. A famous region, with a massive floating island spanning millions of miles in circumference. One side is filled with mountains and rivers, with mountains gathering together and immortality chi lingering. Divine birds and immortal cranes dance in the sky, forming a paradise for cultivators. On the other side, there is no sunlight throughout the year, with a temperature and climate that is extremely damp, cold, and gloomy. If an ordinary person were to be in this place, they would probably not survive for more than 3 days. This place is a sacred land for cultivation in the profound heaven continent. It is called the Yin Yang Sacred Land. In the central area of the Yin Yang Sacred Land, there is a collection of continuous palaces, creating a sense of transcendence from the world. And in this place, there is a massive and majestic palace in the middle. A plaque floats above the top, hanging over the forehead, with spiritual energy covering the entire interior and exterior of the palace. The mysterious Tao essence is naturally present. Yin Yang Palace. Outside the palace gate, there are 2 rows of maids guarding it. Looking further inside, there are various halls and rooms. It's all about luxury. And at this moment, in the innermost bedroom, on a large bed, lies a man with a handsome and jade-like appearance. On the man's handsome face, his long eyelashes tremble as he is about to wake up. The next moment, Chingy Yang opens his eyes, first stunned, and after about 2 or 3 seconds, his mind is startled. Where am I? He looked around carefully, realizing that this was not his own home. It seemed like he was sleeping on a dragon bed in the palace. Luxurious jade vases were used as flower holders, adorned with intricate patterns of mythical beasts. The entire bedroom was decorated in an ancient and elegant style, with dragon and phoenix carvings hanging from the ceiling. The sandalwood seat was dark orange in color, giving off an exceptionally luxurious and comfortable feel. The bedroom was spacious, covering several dozen square meters, and his bed was also large enough to accommodate 4 or 5 people. On the dressing table in front of the bed, there were silver ornaments, and the huge mirror seemed like a piece of art crafted from crystal. The precious floor was covered with cushions made from the fur of some kind of animal, giving off an air of luxury. In the next moment, Chingy Yang frowned as a large amount of memories quickly flooded his mind, causing a slight tingling sensation that pierced his nerves. So that's how it is. Chingy Yang was momentarily stunned, but quickly reacted. Oh my god, I've actually transmigrated into the villain of the book. In his previous life, Chingy Yang had written a novel in which the male protagonist, Linten, was a lonely and poor loser who became a disciple of Wu Qingran in the Yin Yang Sacred Land. Later on, he displayed great talent, trampling on various genius saint children, embracing countless beauties, achieving numerous feats and fame, seizing treasures, and fighting against the heavens. It could be said that he gained both fame and fortune, with all the beauties in his arms, and he stood out above all others. In the end, he achieved the path of an emperor, becoming a model of an unbeatable and satisfying novel. But now, Chingy Yang felt a little sad. Why? Because after transmigrating, he wasn't the protagonist, Linten. Instead, he became the first stepping stone for Linten after he joined the Sacred Land. He was the grandpa in the story of the Calabash brothers, the Yin Yang saint child, Chingy Yang. Not only that, the original Chingy Yang was an absolute lackey of the female lead. Gone, this won't do. Since Chingy Yang knew what kind of fate awaited him in the future, he decided not to continue on his original path. Moreover, making the present Chingy Yang, who had traveled through time, become a lackey for the female lead Wu Qingran, and resist the destined male lead Linten, only to end up dead in the end. No, being a lackey is impossible. Even if I, Chingy Yang, jump off this cliff and die, I won't become a lackey for the female lead Wu Qingran like in the original book. The gifts I give will not become dowries for her marriage to the male lead. Recalling it, Chingy Yang felt fortunate that the male lead hadn't arrived yet. However, there was one thing that made him unhappy. He had pursued the female lead for half his life, but hadn't even gotten a taste, while constantly giving her priceless treasures as gifts. With his exceptional talent, the immortal Tao sacred body, he didn't cultivate it and instead sold himself out for a woman. In the end, he would be despised by everyone and die, truly portraying the villain as brainless. Thinking back to the routines of various novel protagonists, it was because the villains constantly sent lackeys to suppress the protagonist that they were able to level up non-stop, break through life and death, win treasures through gambling, attend auctions while shopping, and even jump off cliffs, experiencing various growths and rises. However, Chingy Yang had no intention of doing the same. He immediately decided to order that if he encountered the male lead named Linten in the sacred land later on, everyone in the sacred land should not provoke him. It would be best to let him live or die on his own. But as soon as this thought arose, a message came to his mind. Ding! The fate antagonist system has been activated. The host is destined to be the enemy of the male leads, a major antagonist. The host must strive to be a good antagonist, preventing the male leads from growing. Ah, you system, I'll die if I become an antagonist. No, I won't do it. Ding! System function. As an intelligent antagonist, how can you lay hands on the protagonist? Understand this sentence to truly grasp the essence of being an antagonist. Chingy Yang heard the system say another sentence and instinctively froze. Before he could understand, a knocking sound reached Chingy Yang's ears. Saint child, it's time for your meal. Ah, okay. Chingy Yang was taken aback for a moment, and the system made no more sound. However, he estimated that the system would probably provide some kind of prompt when encountering special events. Chingy Yang began to change clothes and then walked in front of a huge crystal mirror to face his own reflection. Quote! Chingy Yang was stunned. In this world, there could actually be such a good-looking man. But in the next second, he remembered. In his previous life, in order to create a contrast between the poor appearance of the male lead in the early stages and the excellence of the antagonist, he wrote Linten as a cool and handsome loser, while Chingy Yang was a typical gentle and handsome guy. He really was genuinely, smoking hot handsome. Long hair reaching his waist, 8 feet tall, fair and slender, with a sword hanging from his waist, wearing jade accessories on his head, a striking appearance, and a handsome and extraordinary demeanor. Coupled with being born in a wealthy place and nurtured as a saint child from childhood to adulthood. At this moment, Chingy Yang suddenly understood what kind of rubbish he had written in his previous life. I really don't understand. With such a good-looking handsome guy, and even possessing the talent of an immortal Tao sacred body, how could he not win over a little junior sister? Who is this little junior sister? She actually doesn't show any interest in a guy with background, status, and talent, and instead likes a loser. Indeed, no matter who becomes a bootlicker, the ending will be miserable. Opening the door, Chingy Yang put away his rustic mentality and accepted his current situation. Anyway, he knew that no matter what he encountered later, it would probably shock him. As a dignified saint child, I should have grace. Well, the next moment, Chingy Yang was once again surprised by this extravagant scene. Please have your meal, saint child. The decoration of the dining room is no less inferior to the bedroom. The windows are transparent, allowing a view of the blue sky and white clouds outside. With the grand reliefs, beautiful vases, and attractive patterns, it doesn't look like something from the mortal world. But upon careful consideration, Chingy Yang also feels that it's not wrong. After all, he is now the saint child of the yin-yang sacred land. A large round table is placed in the center of the dining room, and 18 beautiful maids take turns serving dishes. After serving, they wait on the side for the saint child to dine. What a top-notch experience. Even meals come with beautiful women. My goodness. Moreover, just the maids themselves are stunningly beautiful, each with fair skin, a well-endowed figure, and a unique charm. They are no less inferior to the famous stars and models from his previous life. Why is that? Because Chingy Yang is now an immortal, a true cultivator, and these maids are naturally the same. After cultivating immortality, their temperament and appearance gradually become handsome and beautiful, with excellent skin tone and temperament. The stronger their cultivation, the more they can change their appearance, age, and other aspects. While Chingy Yang was dining, he suddenly noticed something. Among the maids, one particularly outstanding beauty had a large golden question mark above her head. And the others didn't have it, nor could they see it at all. Chingy Yang immediately reacted and thought to himself. System, what is the golden question mark? The host has discovered a character related to the male lead, Linten. Activate to view character attributes. View. Qin Shui. 36 years old, cultivation level, mortal transformation realm. Soul damage, low cultivation level, unable to cultivate, will die within half a year. Special items needed for treatment. System prompt. Lin Tian's mother, as a destined major antagonist, those who understand, understand. Mindless antagonists are like Hululu dolls, but what would a mindful antagonist do? Please make the following choice, host. Note. Realm divisions. Mortal transformation, true conversion, true human, cave mansion, spirit wheel, earth shaker, opening heaven, supreme, saint, divine king, great emperor. Choice 1. Blackmail this woman in order to suppress Lin Tian when encountering him in the future. Choice 2. Woo this woman in order to teach Lin Tian to be a good person in the name of a stepfather when encountering him in the future. At this moment, Su Qingyang immediately understood the true purpose of his destined major antagonist system. System, I decisively choose to. Su Qingyang could tell with his butt that the male lead is someone who, the more you suppress him, the faster he rises. And the choice given by the system, choice 2, is quite intriguing. It's an excellent move to woo Lin Tian's mother. I just don't know what expression Lin Tian will have when he sees me as his stepfather. Hee hee. Su Qingyang suddenly revealed a slightly evil expression. He had already decided to go further on the path of a major antagonist. Congratulations to the host for making a choice. Rewarding aura, my charm has nowhere to go. Whenever the opposite gender has emotions or psychological fluctuations towards you, you can hear their inner thoughts. Nice. Su Qingyang sighed. Truly worthy of the system, it even came with a pillow when he was dozing off. This aura would probably be quite helpful when wooing Qin Shui, Su Qingyang estimated. However, he wasn't in a hurry. Wooing an adult woman would require more time and effort compared to a young girl. But now, as the saint child of the immortal sect, he had plenty of time. After this saint child finishes eating, you, come with this saint child for an outing. Su Qingyang didn't hold back and directly named Qin Shui to follow him. In this way, he can take the opportunity to slowly get to know Qin Shui, develop feelings, and then make a move to pursue her. Convenient for dealing with the male lead, Lin Tian, in the future. By then, Lin Tian will discover that his enemy is actually his stepfather. Hee hee hee. Su Qingyang smirked devilishly. It's not Su Qingyang's fault. He understood as soon as he awakened the system that he was destined to be a stepping stone for the male lead, Lin Tian, as the main antagonist. He couldn't escape from it. So he must find a way to deal with it. Qin Shui, originally a maid serving as the saint child, was a little surprised when Su Qingyang specifically named her to follow him. The other maids around her also looked at her with jealousy. Wow, being able to be by the side of the saint child is such good fortune. If possible, I also want to be by the side of the saint child. I don't know what's so good about Qin Shui. Why didn't the saint child choose me? That's right, that's right. Am I not attractive enough? I'm just a little older than her. Suddenly, Su Qingyang heard voices in his mind. He could actually hear the thoughts of those maids. It was incredible. Listening to them, Su Qingyang couldn't help but feel exasperated, but he also followed their gaze. With his tall figure and extraordinary demeanor, he looked down at Qin Shui, the mother of the male lead. Only now, as he approached, did he realize her exceptional and extraordinary qualities. There was a faint ethereal aura about her, but unfortunately, her cultivation and status were low. She was dressed in a very ordinary maid's attire, but it couldn't hide her exceptional figure. She stood tall and proud when she needed to, and had a certain charm. Her appearance far surpassed the other maids. And the key point was that she was particularly nice. Not the least bit sloppy. Because the maid's attire was relatively thin and translucent, Su Qingyang estimated that among the 18 maids, or rather, among the women he had seen, Qin Shui was undoubtedly the strongest. Approaching the level of a grade G expert. And this woman's face is calm, unlike other maid servants who have strange thoughts, she is very pure and beautiful. Strange, why would Saint Child choose me? Usually, he likes to bring his little brothers to follow the footsteps of the Holy Lady. What is your name? How long have you been at Yin Yang Palace? Reporting to Saint Child, my name is Qin Shui, and I have been serving Saint Child at Yin Yang Palace for half a year. No wonder. Chingy Yang calculated the timeline, and it was about right. He did remember that in his previous life, the male protagonist Linten came to Yin Yang sacred land to save his mother. But Chingy Yang didn't seem to do anything to this maid. Instead, it was because the female protagonist Wu Qingran fell in love with that poor boy that Saint Child Chingy Yang started to make things difficult for Qin Shui. Just because she is Lin Tian's mother. But in this life, of course, I won't follow the path of my previous life. Since I have chosen to pursue the mother of the male protagonist Lin Tian, I naturally have to treat her well. It will be convenient for her to fall in love with me. Saint Child, what's wrong with you? At this moment, Chingy Yang finally realized that the maid Qin Shui had been staring at him, feeling very shy. A rosy blush appeared on her face, just like a young girl, completely unable to tell that she had given birth to a child. And because Chingy Yang was looking at her, she thought he was thinking of something strange. Strange? What's wrong with Saint Child? He has been looking at me. Didn't he remember that he liked the Holy Lady before? Oh, sorry, it's nothing. Chingy Yang awkwardly smiled, but just because of this apology, Qin Shui immediately bowed down, looking fearful. Please forgive me, Saint Child, if I have done anything wrong. Please spare me, let me continue to serve Saint Child. Ah, in that moment, Chingy Yang froze. Today, he had truly crossed over and his mindset had been completely changed. He immediately cleared his throat and put on the noble appearance of a Saint Child. Qin Shui, right. I don't mean to punish you. From now on, whenever I go out, you will accompany me. Yes, Saint Child, let's go. Chingy Yang waved his hand and, accompanied by the maid Qin Shui, he gathered various lackeys at the entrance of the Yin Yang Palace and headed to the Holy Land scenic area for leisure and sightseeing. However, he wasn't idle either, as he was trying hard to adapt to the rules and way of life in this cultivation world. While marveling at the ability of those cultivators to fly and disappear, he also didn't forget to wave his hand, causing a cloud of spiritual energy to lift the maid and experience the joy of being an immortal together. I didn't expect Saint Child to have such a cheerful side. Since 2 years ago, when Saint Child started pursuing the Holy Maiden but was rejected, his temper has become increasingly irritable, often punishing the maid and subordinates. I didn't expect that overnight, it's as if he has become a different person. Moreover, just now Saint Child actually apologized to me for such a small matter. I thought Saint Child was going to punish me. It seems that Saint Child has really changed, and has come to a realization. Chingy Yang looked ahead, his handsome appearance and confident demeanor giving off an air of a hero. He heard every thought of the maid Qin Shui, but remained unmoved. Saint Child, ahead is the scenic Yanqi fairyland for observing fish and enjoying flowers. In the past, Saint Child used to love observing fish and enjoying flowers, brewing tea to calm the mind. But ever since that enchantress Wu Qingran arrived, Saint Child has changed completely. What nonsense, she is the Holy Maiden. Holy Maiden, I clearly see her as an enchantress, confusing and bewitching Saint Child. Is that so? It's fine. This Saint Child is in a good mood today, so we'll just go in and enjoy the scenery. Some lackeys flew over on their flying treasures and struck up a conversation with Chingy Yang, sensing that he was in a good mood and had a smile on his face. After all, as lackeys, they had to entertain their master along the way, even though their hostility towards those who made Chingy Yang unhappy made them seem like typical henchmen of the antagonist. It secretly pleased Chingy Yang a little. Wow, the style of Saint Child is really impressive. Isn't that Saint Child? Everyone, look, Saint Child is here. Wow, Saint Child is truly handsome and remarkable in appearance. And every time he goes out, he is followed by a crowd, exuding an imposing aura that makes me feel inferior. Compared to Saint Child, I am nothing. Yes, Saint Child's talent is also unparalleled. I heard he has the immortal Tao sacred body. He has the potential to become a great emperor. Amazing. If only I had half of Saint Child's talent. Go eat shit. You want half of Saint Child's talent. Even having 1/10 would be enough for you to brag about. Hee, you all think Saint Child is amazing. But you don't know how much effort Saint Child has put into the Holy Maiden. He is a model of deep affection for male cultivators like us. The 7 treasure glass pagoda, the martial soul lampwick, the war god robe, any top-quality treasure, Saint Child has given them all to the Holy Maiden. Saint Child's deep affection is no less than his cultivation talent. That's right, Saint Child can disregard his cultivation for the sake of the Holy Maiden, his heart is solely devoted to her. It fills me with admiration and envy. Unlike me, no female cultivator likes me except for cultivation. Quote. From afar, Chingy Yang, flying in the sky, had a rather pleasant expression on his face. Hearing the continuous cheers and praises about him being Saint Child and how excellent he was, it made him feel extremely satisfied. But as he listened further, he began to doubt whether these cultivators had any brains. Were they insinuating that he would give up cultivation to become a lapdog for a woman? Chingy Yang's face gradually darkened. Just then, a cry of surprise came. What? The Holy Maiden is here too. Upon hearing the exclamation from the audience, Chingy Yang followed their gestures and gazes. He saw a stunning woman standing by the edge of a vast and magnificent pool. Her waist-length hair was as white as the snow in the coldest winter, and she wore extraordinary silver and white jewelry. She was dressed in a luxurious, intricately embroidered long skirt, exuding a charm that surpassed ordinary mortals. She was beautiful, as if not of this world. Beside the woman, the pool shimmered like a huge crystal mirror, reflecting the colorful sunlight that pierced through the air on a clear day. Occasionally, fish would jump out of the water to eat the grains she tossed into the pool. The grains, like sparkling treasures, would sink into the water. The fish, with their beautiful fins and wings, would leap out of the water, creating a mesmerizing interplay with the pool's surface. The girl turned her head and revealed a beautiful smile, forming an enchanting scene. Even Chingy Yang couldn't help but be captivated by the beauty of the woman and the fish in this picturesque scene. At that moment, he suddenly understood why Chingy Yang would choose to be a loyal follower of this woman, rather than pursue other women. This female lead was truly ethereal, not like anything one would expect in the mortal realm. Compared to other women, her temperament, figure, and appearance were truly unique in the world. It reminded Chingy Yang of a poem. The green wind embraces the sun and moon, while the galaxy holds the clouds. A woman has descended to the mortal realm, her beauty surpassing that of white snow. She wore a simple white dress, but it created a different kind of scenery, complementing the scene of the pool. Chingy Yang felt that at this moment, everyone present, including himself, was not just admiring the scenery. Their gazes and hearts were undoubtedly captivated by this aloof goddess. Even Chingy Yang was no exception. She is not just beautiful, but a kind of beauty that is indescribable and incomprehensible. At this moment, the woman turned her head and looked at Chingy Yang. Chingy Yang suddenly felt a bit embarrassed. He didn't deny that at this moment, he also fell in love with such a beautiful girl, not to mention that it was the original body. Senior brother. Wu Qingran spoke out of politeness, with a cold expression, no emotions, as if the side profile and smile just now while feeding the fish were all fake. Well, junior sister is also playing in the Yanqi, and senior brother happens to be here. Chingy Yang didn't say much, and Wu Qingran frowned slightly. In the past, there were various encounters with senior brother, and then the other party would stick to her shamelessly. But today's senior brother is a bit different, he just said a few words and didn't get too involved with her. She felt a little happy. To be honest, the colder the beauty, the more she hated the kind of bootlicker. Because being harassed is annoying, cold beauties like to be alone, unless it's someone they have feelings for. Obviously, Chingy Yang is not her crush. Wow, the Saint Child and the Saintess meeting, what kind of sparks will fly? Handsome guy and beautiful girl. You're not handsome, the Saintess has rejected the Saint Child since childhood, the whole Holy Land knows it. The Saintess doesn't like ordinary people, just by looking at you, it's obvious that you're new here. You don't know the news. Ah, what a pity, I thought it was a perfect match, destined to be together. What a big-headed fool, the Saintess is such a figure, indeed only the Saint Child is worthy of her. But I wonder, if the Saintess doesn't like the Saint Child, who will she like in the future, such an arrogant genius? Chingy Yang listened as the surrounding onlookers continuously praised him and the female lead, Wu Qingran. He felt somewhat happy, but that was it. He no longer acted like a lapdog as before, but instead prepared to enjoy the scenery with his maidservant. because he knew that the female lead was destined not to like him. Just then, Wu Qingran spoke up. She only furrowed her brows, showing no emotional fluctuations, making it impossible for Su Qingyang to discern her thoughts. She truly was a cold and aloof female lead. Senior brother, please refrain from giving me those precious items in the future. I don't like them. I hope senior brother will focus on cultivation and not tarnish the dignity of the sacred land. All right, if junior sister doesn't like them, then return those items to senior brother, how about that? Su Qingyang didn't even lift his eyelids and naturally spoke these words. As a good young man from his previous life, he knew it was unreasonable to give resources to women he had no relationship with. Of course, he had to keep the resources for his own cultivation. Since Su Qingyang wanted to cultivate immortality, he would definitely have to become a strong cultivator. Moreover, there was a classic saying from his previous life. When you invite a woman to eat, go shopping, watch a movie, buy clothes, give red envelopes, buy gifts during holidays, in the end, you will understand what it means to be left empty-handed. The saintess, Wu Qingran, was surprised. She didn't expect Su Qingyang to say such things, but she didn't think much of it and directly threw out a storage ring in front of everyone. Very well, please be more mindful in the future, senior brother. Junior sister is wholeheartedly devoted to the Tao, only admiring the strong. Wu Qingran didn't know why, but she instinctively added another sentence, perhaps reminding Su Qingyang to work hard in cultivation and maybe there would still be a chance to pursue her. Su Qingyang also understood what kind of person this junior sister was. It served him right for being the stepping stone of the original body, Linten, wasting his excellent talent and not cultivating while becoming Wu Qingran's lapdog. Lapdogs were truly despicable. Because of this junior sister, she simply didn't like him. Moreover, women only hinder my speed in wielding the knife. To give up women is to become the strongest in the world. As long as there is no woman in my heart, my knife will naturally be divine. However, in Su Qingyang's past life, he had truly seen many girls like this. They just string you along. Even if Su Qingyang worked hard to cultivate, this female lead Wu Qingran would never like him. Even if the original body worked hard to cultivate, could the male lead Linten make progress quickly? Achieving the status of great emperor in a few hundred years, that's just a plot found in novels. This is karma, it is fate. However, Su Qingyang has transmigrated. That's different, this destiny has long changed, he will never become a lapdog. Immediately, he accepted the gifts given in the storage ring and found that aside from half of the resources that could be used for cultivation disappearing, the rest remained untouched. Sister apprentice, it seems like something is missing. Senior brother, I will return it to senior brother within a year. Wu Qingran didn't expect that her senior brother would be so clear-minded and even demand repayment. Only a man with a strong character could do such a thing. However, Su Qingyang didn't think so. Between him and his sister apprentice, there was no love and no marriage. What does it mean for a man to be magnanimous? It's all nonsense. In Su Qingyang's eyes, if she's not his woman, the money and gifts spent on her are just wasted. All right, immediately, Su Qingyang, accompanied by his maid Qin Shui and his subordinates, walked towards the beautiful scenery of Yinchuan Lake without even looking at the saintess Wu Qingran. It's not that Su Qingyang is cold, but that he is self-aware. Halfway through, Su Qingyang looked at Qin Shui and said, Qin Shui, as I have walked this path, it seems that there is something unusual in your soul. Saint child, it seems that there is a deficiency in my soul due to a childhood illness, and every 3 days, I suffer from excruciating pain as if being bitten by ants in the night. At this moment, Qin Shui's heart was in turmoil. How does Saint Child know that there is something wrong with my soul? Early on, I heard a fortune teller say that in the future, I will encounter a treasure called the 15th Day Return Core Lamp, which is the only thing that can cure my soul illness. The fortune teller said that this treasure is priceless and is a specialty of the Yin-Yang sacred land. It can be said to be an invaluable treasure that can heal the souls of the world. But how can I, a mere servant, obtain such a treasure? I feel sorry for Lin Tian, the young man who is wandering outside. I wonder how he is doing now. I hope that one day, I can see my mother again. A hint of bitterness flashed across Qin Shui's brow, and her pitiful feeling was noticed by Su Qingyang. Not only that, but the fleeting sense of loss and the hidden vulnerability of not even having the qualification to obtain the treasure due to her lowly status were also perceived. However, Chingy Yang would not miss this opportunity to increase his favorability rating. As the former Sea King great sage in his past life, he understood the needs of women very well. Some problems and difficulties really cannot be solved by a weak woman alone. Hearing this inner voice undoubtedly increased Chingy Yang's chances of winning over Lin Tian's mother, Qin Shui. Moreover, according to the original script, even if Chingy Yang didn't save her, Lin Tian would still challenge him and end up being defeated, saving his mother. Of course, Chingy Yang would not let Lin Tian succeed, so he began his plan to win over Qin Shui. He didn't make any big moves, still maintaining his mysterious and noble saint-child demeanor, but he started his own strategy to win over Qin Shui. Qin Shui, as my servant, you have served me faithfully for half a year. A servant belongs to their master, and as the saint child, I cannot simply watch you suffer from illness and pain while serving me. If possible, I will do my best to help you alleviate your suffering. Chingy Yang's words were ambiguous. When it comes to dealing with the opposite gender, one must not be too kind, otherwise they would be considered a licking dog, just like the original body treated the female lead, Wu Qingran. Instead, it is said that in possible situations, one should not be too proactive or enthusiastic. And there is a special effect when there is a difference in status. This is what is called the excellent opposite gender effect. Your Highness, the saint child is thoughtful. With just this intention from the saint child, this servant is willing to serve as a slave by the saint child's side. Qin Shui expressed endless gratitude, her expression moved, without any hint of pretense. Moreover, Chingy Yang could also hear what she was thinking. Your Highness, the saint child is truly thoughtful. Qin Shui has a lowly status, so it is reasonable for the saint child not to save her. Since the saint child has said so, there must be a reason behind it. But, Qin Shui, you should not have too many expectations. After all, the saint child is busy with important matters. You are just a small attendant. Fulfilling your duties and doing your job well should be your main focus. Thank you, Your Highness, for your appreciation. To be honest, seeing Qin Shui's thoughts, she didn't seem to favor and admire Chingy Yang like other maidservants. She constantly reminded herself to do her job well. Thoughts of being with Chingy Yang and the like were all unrealistic. Chingy Yang didn't even spare a glance at Qin Shui. No wonder in the original book, the protagonist, a dragon, was born. His mother was extraordinary, with a good temperament. If she were to be a wife, she would be a virtuous one, knowing how to restrain herself, maintaining proper etiquette and not crossing boundaries. Thinking of this, seeing her extraordinary figure, Chingy Yang felt himself gradually becoming evil, like Cao Cao. System, this time, I am truly walking further down the path of becoming a major villain. Not for anything else. A sensible and well-mannered married woman is simply too enticing. No problem, it is only right for me to serve the saint child. Besides, my junior sister doesn't care for these things. That's perfect. Whatever my junior sister doesn't want, I will reward all of you with it. Chingy Yang waved his hand grandly, exuding an air of extravagance. He began to make big promises. As someone who often browsed various information on the internet in their past life, Chingy Yang was well versed in this kind of rhetoric. As a result, the disciples became excited, and even the maid Qin Shui was excited. Ah, saint child, I'm moved. Ah, saint child, you are truly wonderful. It is our fortune to be by your side, saint child. Yes, yes, to follow such a magnificent and outstanding man like saint child is the blessing we have cultivated for 3 lifetimes. Saint child, you are so thoughtful. ... Even Qin Shui, who was usually sensible and composed, couldn't help but take a few more glances at Chingy Yang's handsome figure. I feel like saint child is so tall and magnificent. Saint child is our heaven. It is so wonderful to be by saint child's side. As a mere mortal transformation realm female cultivator, and one who suffered from illness every night, she had no problem with her thoughts, at least in Qin Shui's opinion. To her, the saint child of yin-yang sacred land was no different from a deity. As an ordinary mortal, to be cared for and remembered by someone of such high status and extraordinary strength, along with all those subordinates, was a cause for overwhelming gratitude. They wished they could offer themselves in return. She wondered if Su Qingyang did it on purpose. Wu Qingran, the saintess who hadn't walked far, suddenly stopped in her tracks. She naturally heard Su Qingyang's loud and grand voice. A strange feeling surged in her heart. Having been a bootlicker for Su Qingyang since childhood, at this moment, she seemed to be no better than a maid. Su Qingyang wanted to give her things that she didn't want and give them to a group of maidservants. What kind of operation is this? Su Qingyang actually compared her to a servant. However, she didn't care too much. As an ice queen, as long as Su Qingyang stopped bothering her, it was fine. But in Wu Qingran's heart, an indescribable strange feeling arose for the first time. Wu Qingran walked away. Su Qingyang, along with the maidservants and subordinates, began to tour the entire enchanting Yinchu, which had a very beautiful environment. Along the way, intentionally or unintentionally, Su Qingyang occasionally took the little ones to admire the scenery under the pavilion. Occasionally, they would enjoy the flowers under the trees and feed the fish by the stream. And the little ones knew very well what an outstanding lackey should do, constantly looking for topics and praising the saint child's strength and nobility, and so on. Originally, as a dandy saint child, Su Qingyang seemed to still be the same dandy saint child who scattered flowers. But if one could notice the changes, they would find slight differences. Every time they sat down, Su Qingyang would intentionally or unintentionally make contact with Qin Shui and sit closest to her. But it wasn't very deliberate, and neither Qin Shui nor the other subordinates noticed such subtle things. Because Su Qingyang was preparing to establish a presence in Qin Shui's heart. Su Qingyang knew very well that high-end hunters often appear in the most intimate way. And Qin Shui herself felt that the saint child seemed a bit different. She unconsciously had a sense of being watched. Even when chatting and having fun with a group of people, Qin Shui had a strange feeling of being observed. It was as if there was a divine and noble gaze watching her, making it impossible for her to ignore. But every time Qin Shui looked up, she found that the gaze had disappeared. This made her feel a sense of inexplicable unease. It must be the saint child, but why would the saint child pay attention to me? It's really strange. Oh, Qin Shui, what are you thinking? The saint child is an extraordinary figure, the #1 genius of the yin-yang sacred land. How could he pay attention to a mere servant girl like you in the mortal transformation realm? Don't think too much, you must have developed a crush, so control yourself and serve the saint child well. Alright, that's it for today. This saint child is going back to the palace. Yes, saint child, we will escort you. Back at the entrance of the yin-yang palace, the disciples dispersed and went back to their own places to rest and cultivate. Qin Shui had originally planned to report and then return to the place where the servant girls lived, but unexpectedly, Su Qingyang spoke up. Qin Shui, stay behind. Ah, saint child, yes. Qin Shui was a little surprised and didn't understand why the saint child wanted her to stay alone. Su Qingyang's expression remained cold and calm, but at this moment, he changed. His expression softened. Qin Shui, this saint child will fulfill his promise to you, so I'm keeping you here to help you with your illness. Don't misunderstand. Yes, saint child. Qin Shui didn't know why, but she felt a slight sense of loss. Just now, Su Qingyang left her alone, and she felt a bit inexplicably excited. She herself didn't understand why. Qin Shui, the saint child has already said that he will take good care of the feelings of his subordinates. Naturally, he will pay attention to you. Your soul illness is very painful, and the saint child will definitely take it to heart. However, Qin Shui, you are just an ordinary cultivator. Compared to the esteemed saint child, it wouldn't be appropriate for such news to spread. Even if treatment is needed, it would definitely require precious items, and you have no way to repay the saint child. Qin Shui's gaze dimmed for just a moment. She had thought about a lot in that instant. She was a relatively intelligent, practical, and sensible woman. Unlike other female attendants who would be extremely excited if they were called alone by the saint child, she weighed the pros and cons, gains and losses. She knew herself well and understood the limits and boundaries. This saint child has countless precious treasures that can repair or enhance the efficiency of the soul. However, I can't just give them to you for nothing, otherwise, what would the other attendants think of this saint child? As a good young man from his previous life, Su Qingyang understood very well that he couldn't just give everything to a woman. Otherwise, he would end up like the original Su Qingyang, who pursued the holy maiden and became a lapdog. In the end, the woman would become arrogant and domineering. The best way is for you to treat her well, and she will treat you well in return. The so-called couple is nothing more than a mutual benefit, seeking each other's physical attractiveness or status and resources. Yes, Saint Child, Qin Shui will listen to your instructions. Qin Shui lowered her head even further, looking down at her toes, but she couldn't see them because her field of vision was blocked by a patch of white, all because it was too beautiful. Very good. Qin Shui has already started to rely on me, the Saint Child. As long as I give her enough benefits and make her do things for me, through long-term interaction, she will develop continuous admiration and fondness for me. At that time, it will be effortless to win her over. Su Qingyang narrowed his eyes, enjoying the feeling of controlling people's hearts. Soon, this beautiful and extraordinary woman in front of him would become the first woman he conquered after crossing over. Moreover, at that time, she would also be his first means of dealing with the male protagonist, Linten. She would be his trump card. I have been practicing a technique called Great Sun Emperor's Decision recently. It is easy to go astray during cultivation, so I need someone to guard me by my side. Coincidentally, there is currently no one suitable, so Qin Shui, it will be you. Su Qingyang casually made up a cultivation technique. But his gaze remained on Qin Shui from beginning to end, never shifting for a moment. Because Su Qingyang was about to find an opportunity to pursue Qin Shui. Ah, Saint Child, my lord. Your servant Qin Shui will definitely faithfully guard by your side, Saint Child. Thank you, Saint Child, for your cultivation and blessings. Qin Shui was surprised, feeling a little excited in her heart, showing a shy and happy expression like a young girl, with a blush on her face. Qin Shui is very sensible, and she never forgets her identity. Moreover, the thought that she, a mere mortal female cultivator, would be chosen by Saint Child and stay by his side, doing things for him, is truly a blessing accumulated over several lifetimes. Saint Child is so kind. Perhaps Saint Child had better candidates in mind, but Saint Child is compassionate and takes pity on my weak and sickly body, so he bestows this opportunity upon me. Qin Shui, O Qin Shui, you must guard by Saint Child's side, serve him faithfully, and do your best to heal your illnesses, serving by Saint Child's side for life. Unconsciously, Qin Shui began to purse her lips, her face showing a serious expression, as if she were willing to die for a true friend. Seeing her inner thoughts, Su Qingyang couldn't help but find it amusing. You're not a child anymore, Qin Shui, oh Qin Shui, how can you be so naive? You're being sold by this Saint Child, and you still want to count the money for me. And soon, my true intentions as this Saint Child will surprise you. HMPH, a mere male protagonist mother, with her beautiful appearance, is nothing more than a plaything in my hands. Capture her. How can the male protagonist, Linten, still compete with me? A smile appeared at the corner of Su Qingyang's mouth, feeling pleased. Not only that, Su Qingyang couldn't help but secretly admire Qin Shui's figure. Tisk tisk, she truly is a married woman. Her unique magnificence makes me admire and excited. In my past life, a woman like her would have had a long line of suitors, but I, Su Qingyang, wouldn't have had a chance. But in this life, my goals as Su Qingyang go far beyond this. All the women related to the male protagonist, Linten, the mother, the saint, the witch, I will collect them all under my command. Let you all enjoy pleasure for my sake. At that time, let's see the expression on Linten's face, hee, how amusing it will be. Su Qingyang felt a burst of joy, leaving all his worries behind. And I don't know if it's because the original soul has been integrated or because of the awakening of the heavenly destiny villain system, but Su Qingyang feels that he is truly becoming more and more like a villain. A genuine, cunning and wicked one. Then let's start with Qin Shui's strategy. Since it was said so, Su Qingyang did not stop. Looking at Qin Shui, who was bowing her head in front of him, Su Qingyang's mindset had undergone a tremendous change. Let's go. Yes, Saint Child. Poor Qin Shui, still looking happy and loyal, wanting to show her loyalty to Saint Child Su Qingyang. Little did she know that she was about to fall into a trap and would never be able to escape. And she would willingly and actively do it herself. On Su Qingyang's side, he was preparing to start the plan to conquer Qin Shui. On the other side, the female protagonist Wu Qingran arrived at a hall where numerous personnel stood, most of whom were high-ranking officials in the Yin-Yang sacred land. This place is called the Hall of Deliberation. Usually, it is where the Yin-Yang sacred land decides on high-level affairs or holds meetings when the sacred land is developing. And the Holy Maiden is also a high-ranking official and is present here. Moreover, she is the main spokesperson for this incident. Reporting to the elders, I want to go out and gain experience. Holy Maiden, do you really want to go out and gain experience? It's too dangerous outside. Your cultivation level is still lacking, and there's no rush for this moment. Reporting to the elders, I have already reached the cave mansion realm. What? You have already reached the cave mansion realm? Yes, because the Holy Lord does not appear in the sacred land, the elders of the Yin-Yang sacred land usually take charge. At this moment, a group of elders looked at the young and cold-faced Holy Maiden Wu Qingran, their faces showing shock. An 18-year-old in the cave mansion realm. Ha ha ha, how impressive our Yin-Yang sacred land is. Given time, the Holy Maiden has the potential to become supreme. All the elders showed a relieved expression. The leading elder expressed agreement and, with a thoughtful expression, mentioned the Yin-Yang saint child Su Qingyang. I wonder where the saint child is at the moment and what his cultivation level is. Ah, if only the saint child worked as hard as the Holy Maiden. Just thinking about that spoiled saint child Su Qingyang, the senior elder frowned and felt a headache. The other elders also chimed in. That's right, if the saint child worked half as hard as the Holy Maiden. Not wasting his own talent. His cultivation level wouldn't just barely reach true human. The high-level elders in the conference hall all had the same thoughts. Regardless of which sacred land it was, the saint children all strived to cultivate diligently. They aimed to establish a reputation as outstanding geniuses for their sacred land. But only their Yin-Yang sacred land's saint child, not only did he not cultivate diligently. He spent his days chasing after his junior sister, acting like a lapdog. He doesn't cultivate himself. He even gives resources to others. It's truly speechless. To not cultivate such a great talent like the immortal Tao sacred body. It's truly a waste. This senior elder is a reasonable person, and what he said is right. At this moment, Su Qingyang is not only not diligently cultivating, but instead thinking about how to pick up girls and flirt with them. If he knew about the situation of Saint Child Su Qingyang, he would definitely be furious and filled with anger. Saint Child is once again indulging in worldly desires. All right then, the saintess can go out and experience the world, while we elders will guard the sacred land. Rest assured, the saintess will be accompanied by 2 opening heaven realm experts sent by the sacred land. If you encounter any danger, do not risk your life. Your safety is the priority. This is the Yin-Yang sacred land saint child token, containing the will of the Holy Lord. If you encounter a life-threatening crisis, you can release your spiritual power and activate the will of the Holy Lord. Anyone below the rank of saint can be killed. The saintess of the sacred land is always fortunate. Even if she goes on a journey, she will have numerous treasures and magical items with her. When encountering someone without a background, there is no need to be afraid. Just go up and be tough. Yes. Upon hearing the elders' approving praises, the saintess's originally indifferent face showed a happy expression. However, when she thought about her own wastrel senior brother Su Qingyang, who never cultivates, a hint of disdain and contempt couldn't help but arise in her heart. But it was only a hint. Senior brother, if it weren't for the urgent need for cultivation resources to break through to the cave mansion realm recently, I wouldn't have accepted your kindness. But since I promised senior brother, I will definitely return the resources. Wu Qingran is a very proud person, or rather, all aloof goddesses have their own pride in their hearts and rarely bow down to others. So this time, she proposed to go out and gain experience. It is to work and earn spiritual stones and treasures to repay the debt to senior brother Su Qingyang. The repayment period is within 1 year. The elders looked quite satisfied as they watched the saintess. Various praises were heard incessantly, just as the Holy Maiden was reporting to the higher-ups about going out. At Yin-Yang Palace, on Su Qingyang's side, he received the first wonderful treatment from the system. Ding! System prompt. The mother of the male lead, Qin Shui, has increased her favorability towards you. It has changed from meeting by chance, servant's heart, to loyal and devoted, willing to serve as Saint Child's loyal servant. System reward. Plunder 100 points of luck from the male lead, Linten. It has automatically converted into 100 points of villain value, which the host can use for drawing prizes. The system requires 100 points of villain value for one draw. System prompt. As long as you pursue the plot-related characters related to the male lead, Linten, and make choices that align with the destiny of the villain, the system will plunder luck from the male lead, Linten. When the male lead's luck drops to a certain level, he will become an ordinary person and will no longer be able to contend with the host. Chingy Yang froze and immediately became pleasantly surprised. There's such a good thing. Originally, he was still worried that pursuing the male lead's mother would lead to retaliation from the male lead. As a result, the system turned out to be so friendly. It seems like I'm naturally suited to be a villain. Let all the male leads fall from their pedestals. Oh right, system, let me draw a prize. Ding. The host, Chingy Yang, has chosen to draw a prize from the system, consuming 100 points of villain value. Beep beep. Congratulations, host, you have obtained a system special experience potion. Would you like to use it? Use it. Chingy Yang decisively chose to use it. He knew that the original body was negligent in cultivation when he transmigrated here. It was a waste to have such great talent but only act as a lackey. Therefore, now that he had the opportunity to overtake others, Chingy Yang appeared very decisive. Ding. Congratulations, host Chingy Yang, for successfully using the experience potion. Your strength has been upgraded from the mid-stage of the true human realm to the mid-stage of the cave mansion realm. System quote. As a great villain with a destiny, as long as I, Chingy Yang, am here, no male lead dares to claim invincibility. No prodigy dares to claim unbeatability. Boom. This was extraordinary. Chingy Yang was forced to fly up into the sky. He didn't want Yin Yang Palace to be damaged due to the anomaly of heaven and earth and the reverse flow of spiritual energy. Due to the rapid advancement of his cultivation level, like eating and drinking, the majestic spiritual energy of heaven and earth was driven by him. The entire world began to produce various wonders and phenomena. In an instant, the surging spiritual energy rushed in like waves, stirring up clouds and air around it. The colors of the world changed, and the wind and thunder roared as countless phenomena appeared. The spiritual energy transformed into raging waves and dragons, sweeping across tens of thousands of miles around. Even the spiritual energy of the mountain peaks where several holy cultivators were practicing was plundered. All the holy cultivators who were meditating or resting were startled. Who is breaking through with such a grand momentum? It seems like they are transcending the tribulation spirit wheel realm. No, this doesn't seem like the spirit wheel realm. How can the cave mansion realm have such terrifying phenomena? Quote. Countless cultivators looked up at the sky, gazing at the dark and overlapping thunderous clouds, as if they were about to strike, but they lingered for a long time, waiting for something. Meanwhile, Chingy Yang, the person in question, was shocked in his heart. Oh my heavens! I was at the mid-stage of the true human realm, and the system forcibly promoted me to the mid-stage of the cave mansion realm. Will there be any side effects? Realm divisions. Mortal transformation, true conversion, true human, cave mansion, spirit wheel, earth shaker, opening heaven, supreme, saint, divine king, great emperor. Ding. Host, please rest assured. The system's specially made experience potion uses an exclusive secret formula. After using it, there will be no side effects, and you don't have to worry about the realm advancing too quickly, causing mental restlessness or unstable strength, and other reasons. Phew, that's good then. Chingy Yang breathed a sigh of relief. This villainous system is really thoughtful and powerful. Indeed, Chingy Yang, is really suitable to be a villain. Because of Chingy Yang's breakthrough in realm, it attracted the attention of countless disciples from the surrounding holy cultivators. They all exclaimed and marveled. Have you guys noticed? That seems to be the Saint Child. Hey, now that you mention it, it really looks like it. Oh my god, isn't that Yin Yang Palace? I just remembered. Wow, does that mean the Saint Child's cultivation has advanced? He has already stepped into the cave mansion realm. Oh my god, the Saint Child is terrifying. Cave mansion realm at the age of 18. My goodness, the talent of the saint child is truly unparalleled in the world. Just as countless onlookers were exclaiming and marveling. High-level council chamber. There is a saintess in our holy land, and the holy land shall prosper. That's right. Compared to the saintess, the saint child is truly weak. He is always indulging in women and neglecting his cultivation. Although the elders all knew that the saint child was infatuated with the saintess before their eyes, it did not prevent them from praising and admiring the excellence of the saintess. The masses are like this. No matter where they go, there are always people who flatter, fawn, and act like good people, and the group of elders is no exception. Because in the future, when the saintess succeeds and develops, many elders will also need to rely on her. Indeed, our yin-yang saint child really needs a good beating. With the saintess in front of him, practicing so diligently, I can't imagine how the saint child can slack off. Someone, send a message to the saint child, let him come over and have a private conversation with the saintess, and by the way, remind him that it's time for the saint child to cultivate. The grand elder waved his hand, and countless elders responded immediately, preparing to head towards the direction of the yin-yang palace. However, in the next moment, a thunderous explosion resounded in everyone's ears, and the source of the sound was the yin-yang palace. Boom, boom, rumble, rumble. A huge vortex of spiritual energy swept through half of the palace complex, even reaching the council chamber. The spiritual energy transformed into an angry dragon soaring in the sky, dancing and soaring. What's going on? The Grand Elder was shocked. Countless elders were also dazed. This seems like a heavenly phenomenon. A heavenly phenomenon. Has our holy land produced another peerless genius? Perhaps. Let me take a look. The Great Elder waved his hand, directly presenting the abnormality and scene above the yin-yang palace to everyone, including the holy maiden, who looked on in silence, her expression filled with confusion. The last time there was a phenomenon in the heavens and earth, it seemed to have occurred when the holy maiden was practicing a technique. But I didn't expect that, in such a short time, there would be another phenomenon in the heavens and earth. It seems that the heavens are shining upon our yin-yang sacred land, it is flourishing. It may be flourishing, but apart from the fact that the saint child of yin-yang sacred land is somewhat lacking in reputation, our sacred land is truly going to rise. An elder spoke with a strange tone. However, in the next moment, his face froze. Have any of you noticed that this seems to be the saint child? Even the great elder was puzzled. The more he looked, the more familiar it seemed. That is the yin-yang palace. Yes, the mountains next to it are where I reside. An elder exclaimed in shock. No way, no way. Could it really be the saint child? But why would the saint child cause such a phenomenon in the heavens and earth? All the elders were incredulous. They had just mocked the saint child, saying that the holy maiden had good talent while the saint child was obsessed with women. As a result, they were immediately proven wrong. The saint child caused the abnormality in the sacred land, directly alarming everyone present. All the elders and holy maidens present were stunned. They murmured to themselves, could it be that the saint child has changed and is going to cultivate seriously? Wait a minute, this seems to be not the early stage of the cave mansion, but the mid-stage. Saint child's talent is unexpectedly terrifying. What's going on? Didn't I remember him revealing his true human realm last time? How did he suddenly break through to the mid-stage of the cave mansion realm? Yeah, what's happening? Why is Saint Child so diligent, surprising all of us? When I go back, I must teach my nephew well. Instead of practicing all day and neglecting his proper duties, he should learn from Saint Child how to handle relationships with the opposite gender. Do you know the recent popular saying in the cultivation world? It goes, have you ever risked your life for a woman? Shed blood for her. Oh my, Elder Lu, where did you hear this avant-garde information? It's impressive. The male cultivator who said this must be highly advanced in cultivation. Well, I think Saint Child must have known that the Holy Maiden secretly made progress in her cultivation, so he also accelerated his efforts, pretending to be weak to catch the Holy Maiden off guard and win her heart. They say old people have thick skin and dare to say anything. Just after mocking Saint Child for being distracted by women, he immediately starts saying that Saint Child is working hard in his cultivation because of the Holy Maiden. What a bunch of idiots. The Holy Maiden was about to leave, but she was attracted by the changes brought about by this heavenly phenomenon, and she was also deeply shocked. What? Why did senior brother advance so quickly in his cultivation? I just told him yesterday to practice diligently and not slack off, as I only admire the strong. But today, senior brother's realm has already surpassed mine. I'm still only at the early stage of the cave mansion realm, just recently advancing, and my state of mind is restless. I didn't expect senior brother to already be at the mid-stage of the cave mansion realm. The mindset of the holy maiden, Wu Qingran, begins to undergo a slight change, and this change is a breakdown. Although it's just a little bit. But the slap in the face came too quickly. She said she admires the strong, and the next day, Su Qingyang surpassed her. She doesn't know how to feel about it. And for the first time, she listened to the conversation of the elders. Wu Qingran starts to associate Su Qingyang with herself. Could it be that senior brother really likes me so much? Is it because of me that his cultivation realm has advanced so quickly? In the past, he didn't seem weak at all when he gave me all the resources. Now, with just a change in character and using resources for himself, he has made such terrifying progress. Senior brother Nangguan has already started changing his mindset and truly listening to what I say. He wants to become stronger and then start liking me. Wu Qingran's thoughts were quite straightforward because she had been a dog-like follower of Su Qingyang since childhood, and she had always believed that Su Qingyang must still like her. But it was just a new method that Su Qingyang secretly learned, to seriously listen to what women say, so what Su Qingyang did made her have some changes in her perspective. I thought senior brother would always be so decadent, but I didn't expect it to be a misunderstanding. I hope senior brother continues to work hard and become a true strong person. Perhaps I will have a better opinion of senior brother. Wu Qingran was a goddess of aloofness, and if Su Qingyang knew what she was thinking, he would definitely be shocked. Fu Xin girl, I, Su Qingyang, haven't been a dog-like follower for a long time. Holy maiden, please don't come over. Wu Qingran was shocked, as were the elders. Then let's leave it at that. In a few days, I will hold a commendation ceremony to reward the diligence of the saint child. Let all the cultivators in our sacred land learn from it. Only with women and pursuit can there be full motivation for cultivation. Yes, what the elder said is right. The elder is awesome. After the meeting was adjourned, Wu Qingran went out to gain experience. Yin Yang Palace. Saint child, is this really okay? It's fine, just listen to what this saint child says. If there are any problems with the saint child's cultivation later, you can make tea on the side. This tea has the effect of calming the mind. No matter how deep the cultivation state is, one can come out of it. Even if it's on the verge of losing control. Okay, saint child, please rest assured. This servant will take good care of the saint child's cultivation state. In the training room, Su Qingyang sat cross-legged and began to cultivate. Cultivation was one thing, but the room was arranged in a somewhat ambiguous manner, which easily led to imagination. On the wall, there were murals of men and women embracing each other while cultivating. Just like the celebrity portrait paper Su Qingyang hung in the bathroom in his past life. But this one is even nicer, it's the kind of dual cultivation. Qin Shui was very puzzled. Saint child actually likes this. No, why does this training room always give people a strange feeling? That's right, it was prepared in advance by Su Qingyang, with a layout that is not obvious but also makes people's imagination run wild. Qin Shui sat across, watching Su Qingyang, who was earnestly practicing the technique with closed eyes, and not only did various thoughts float in her mind. As an antagonist boss with a destined fate, the boss has always had a thick health bar and strong power, and I, Su Qingyang, not only have to be an antagonist but also the king of kings among the antagonist kings. So of course I have to practice diligently. However, after a while of practicing, Su Qingyang started acting mischievous. His face turned red, showing a look of discomfort, as if the practice had gone wrong. Saint child, Qin Shui was a little skeptical. Wow, how come saint child encounters problems when practicing this technique? Saint child, what's wrong with you? It's nothing, Qin Shui, I just feel a little uncomfortable. Seizing the opportunity, Su Qingyang fell to the side, and Qin Shui immediately came over to support him, showing a caring appearance. Su Qingyang released his spiritual energy and rotated his body, pretending to have a minor problem with his practice. This was a chance to have more contact with Qin Shui. Don't underestimate this. In his past life, Su Qingyang had seen many people pursue girls, just by crossing a little bottom line. Although Su Qingyang could directly make the male protagonist's mother, Qin Shui, submit by relying on his identity as the saint child, using force and so on, it wouldn't be aesthetically pleasing. He wants to make Qin Shui completely belong to him, so as to deal with Linten. Qin Shui is someone who completely stands on his side. Saint child, you should pay attention to your cultivation. Qin Shui said with concern, doing what a servant should do. Su Qingyang felt the warmth beside him, coming from his arm, and felt something strange in his heart. He couldn't help but look up at Qin Shui, and they happened to make eye contact as Qin Shui supported him. The atmosphere suddenly became tense, the whole room was ambiguous, and the murals were very explicit. When Qin Shui came in, her face turned red to the roots of her ears. If it weren't for Qin Shui's truly pure and mature heart, it would be easy to have wild thoughts. But it was inevitable to feel in her heart. The saint child's training room is really. But now, as the two of them got closer, Su Qingyang didn't avoid or hide, and looked straight at Qin Shui. Qin Shui was stunned by this sudden closeness. Just now, she was only thinking about taking care of the saint child, but now they were so close. She could even see Su Qingyang's eyelashes. Coupled with Su Qingyang's handsome appearance, his eyes were like a pair of sun, moon, and stars, giving off an extremely enchanting feeling from his cultivation technique. In addition, Qin Shui and Su Qingyang were of opposite genders, with a huge difference in status. The strong psychological collision made Qin Shui feel her heart beating faster. "Ah, saint child, what are you looking at your servant for?" Qin Shui quickly lowered her head, her face turning red, appearing very shy. "Ah, it's nothing, Qin Shui, why is your face turning red?" No, saint child, just now you were looking at this servant, and this servant is not used to it." Qin Shui's face flushed, revealing the charm of a mature woman. Although she appeared young and showed no signs of aging, there was always a noticeable sense of maturity and stability about her. Even at such a close distance, Qin Shui tried her best to maintain a composed demeanor. The strong aura of the saint child, combined with his luxurious attire and posture, brought an indescribable sense of pressure to Qin Shui. The aura of the saint child is too strong. It's unimaginable for a mortal transformation realm female cultivator like me to bear such pressure. Ah. But, the saint child is truly outstanding. Su Qingyang heard Qin Shui's inner thoughts and immediately reacted, retracting the somewhat domineering aura from his body and becoming gentle. There was no way around it. Su Qingyang was accustomed to maintaining the image of the saint child, so unconsciously, there was a noble sense of self-importance in his brows and eyes. This made it difficult for ordinary people to approach him. Although most cultivators couldn't perceive it, this was also why whenever Su Qingyang went somewhere, countless spectators would exclaim, "Look, isn't that the saint child?" Qin Shui felt uncomfortable when she saw Su Qingyang's brows soften suddenly and his gaze become gentle like water. Saint child. Qin Shui, I think being the saint child all the time is actually quite tiring. If possible, I think it would be nice to be like an ordinary cultivator, not being obsessed with responsibilities and heavy burdens, and just focus on cultivation. Su Qingyang let out a sigh, seeming a bit desolate, which touched Qin Shui. His expression had changed, completely different from usual. There was no trace of nobility, but instead, a down-to-earth Su Qingyang who shared his inner thoughts with her. It felt strange to her. However, being a mature and charming woman, she was also sensible. The saint child must be tired all the time. The elders always say that the saint child is spoiled and doesn't love cultivation at all. I imagine it must be because of inner exhaustion. Qin Shui, how did you know? Su Qingyang showed a somewhat excited expression, grabbing Qin Shui's hands. Originally, the two of them were already speaking very closely, and the training room was quiet, with even the air they breathed seeming visible. With this sudden action, Su Qingyang grabbed Qin Shui's hands, causing her to feel flustered. Even she couldn't help but feel a bit worried. Will saint child do something to me? In this training room, a man and a woman alone together, and saint child is only 18 years old, full of youthful vigor, this. Qin Shui struggled with her gaze for a while, but in the end, she found that she couldn't let go of Saint Child's hand, so she could only let him be inside. Su Qingyang's eyes showed a hopeful feeling. He knew what Qin Shui was thinking, but he didn't act on it. Otherwise, it would always leave a psychological knot. Saint Child, although I don't understand how Saint Child grew up since childhood, I have heard that 2 years ago, Saint Child pursued the Holy Maiden but was unsuccessful. Since then, he has been downcast until now. His heart must be tired. Although Qin Shui doesn't understand cultivation matters. But after all, she is a bit older than Saint Child, and she feels somewhat touched by Saint Child's inner world and emotional experiences. Saint Child is genuine, but emotions are ultimately about fate. Su Qingyang held Qin Shui's delicate jade hands, as if they were boneless, causing him to inadvertently rub them, making her feel a bit uncomfortable. But Su Qingyang didn't stop. Qin Shui is right. Listen, Saint Child, actually, I haven't liked the Holy Maiden for a long time. Qin Shui was stunned. Ever since she entered the Holy Land half a year ago, the most common thing she heard from colleagues and rumors was about Saint Child pursuing the Holy Maiden. But now, hearing Su Qingyang say that he no longer liked the Holy Maiden, Wu Qingran, she couldn't help but feel a bit incredulous. But she is a sensible person, and seeing the disappointment in Saint Child's expression, she couldn't help but console him. In fact, Saint Child, there are beautiful women everywhere in the world. Why confine yourself to just one flower? A remarkable man like you, no matter where you go, will have countless girls who like you. What about married women? Su Qingyang made a joke without thinking. Haha, Qin Shui was greatly shocked, her expression showing panic. The esteemed Saint Child actually didn't like young girls, but preferred married women. Where can one find a married woman? Isn't there one right in front of him? Su Qingyang's gaze was somewhat hopeful as she looked at Qin Shui, not saying a word, causing the latter's eyes to become flustered. Saint Child, this is not right. Saint Child should focus on cultivation, listen to the elders, strive to become stronger, and lead the Holy Land to greater glory. But I don't like cultivation. What I like is. Su Qingyang didn't say anything, just glanced at Qin Shui, leaving her to guess. Qin Shui's heart was pounding. She couldn't handle Su Qingyang's advances, feeling like a startled rabbit. She struggled to release her hand and stepped back. Saint Child, although I, Qin Shui, have been orphaned since childhood, ever since I embarked on the path of immortality, I have also encountered a boy who is wandering outside. My status is lowly, and getting involved with Saint Child will only hinder your cultivation and reputation. Even though I'm not afraid of the rumors spreading, it will bring no benefit to you, Saint Child. Moreover, there's no need for Saint Child to do this. With Saint Child's outstanding talent and appearance, as long as Saint Child wishes, there are countless young girls in the Holy Land who are infatuated with you. Qin Shui was sensible and spoke in a pleasing manner. Even when rejecting, she made it clear. She also praised Su Qingyang, saying that she was not bad. In reality, she couldn't deny that she had thoughts when looking at such an outstanding Saint Child, but she understood who she was. Compared to Su Qingyang, it would be a joke for the esteemed Saint Child to care about an ordinary female cultivator. Age, talent, and all aspects would become a laughingstock. I'm thinking for the sake of Saint Child, Qin Shui. You've misunderstood, Qin Shui. Su Qingyang did not pursue, but instead put on a look of being hurt by love. It can only be said that Su Qingyang is very skilled. He has a high status and good qualifications in all aspects, while Qin Shui's biggest characteristic and advantage is being sensible and mature, with the charm and temperament of a young woman. And facing this kind of girl, who is older, what is the best approach? It is to let her see his vulnerable side, to let her care for him, and then Su Qingyang can show her his considerate and gentle side, and then time will take its course, going with the flow. Saint Child. Qin Shui was greatly surprised, feeling that she had done something wrong, but Su Qingyang did not blame her. Instead, he started talking about himself. Actually, I also grew up alone since I was young. Qin Shui nodded, her eyes brightened for a moment, because people who can empathize will resonate with each other. Although I am a Saint Child since I was young, I have no parental love, just like you, Qin Shui. By the way, can I call you Sister Shui? Saint Child, this is absolutely not allowed. It's okay it's decided, this is the command of this saint child. When there's no one around, I will call you Sister Shui. Well, alright, Shuiji, call me Xiaoyang. Ah, Saint Child Sama, it's alright, this is an order from Saint Child, no one dares to say anything. And we're just in private, so just treat me like usual. So, Shuiji, what should you call me? Xiaoyang. Qin Shui's voice was as soft as a mosquito, her cheeks blushing, feeling extremely shy. Why is that? Saint Child Sama, what kind of status does Xiaoyang have, and what kind of status does Qin Shui have? This way of addressing is really disrespectful. As a sensible woman, she shouldn't know, but she couldn't resist Saint Child. So Qin Shui could only reluctantly comply. Saint Child Sama. Qin Shui was lost in thought. Su Qingyang held her hands, constantly caressing them, feeling the delicate and smooth touch, incredibly soft, causing ripples in Su Qingyang's heart. Shuiji, what should you call me? Xiaoyang, is that okay? Su Qingyang firmly held her hands, and they began to chat. The latter felt both embarrassed and indignant, unable to refuse, but quickly became captivated by Su Qingyang's topics. Shuiji, you actually understand, right? Growing up alone, without the care of parents, I can only rely on my own efforts. Although I am Saint Child and have no worries about food and clothing, I also hope that someone can care about me. Shuiji, you are so beautiful and gentle, you must understand Xiaoyang's heart. Su Qingyang approached Qin Shui, constantly pushing her boundaries and innermost thoughts. Between the two, it felt as if they could hear each other's breaths and heartbeats. Xiaoyang. Su Qingyang looked at Qin Shui with hope, and a feeling of pity arose in Qin Shui's heart. Ah, Saint Child is really pitiful, just like Qin Shui. It must be difficult for him to grow up without parents by his side. Perhaps I can make Saint Child feel happier. Qin Shui looked at Su Qingyang, who was usually sunny and handsome, and didn't expect to see this side of him, so downcast. She comforted him softly. Xiaoyang must be in a lot of pain normally. Shuiji. I used to like the Holy Maiden. But she didn't like me, sigh. Su Qingyang's expression was pained, and his true feelings were revealed, making Qin Shui feel sorry for him. Ah, the Holy Maiden is still young, she doesn't understand. She's leaving someone as excellent as Xiaoyang behind. Will there be someone even better for her in the future? Shuiji is right, that's true. That's why I don't like the Holy Maiden anymore. Young girls don't understand, they always think there will be someone better. Little do they know that what's in front of them is the best. Yes, what's in front of them is the best. Time flies, and people always lose the most precious things, always thinking there will be something better, sigh. Qin Shui sighed, her momentary sorrow showing, which made Su Qingyang lose focus for a moment. Qin Shui was truly beautiful, even in her sadness, she had a unique charm. Su Qingyang subconsciously glanced at Qin Shui, his eyes revealing other emotions, making Qin Shui feel a strange sense of intrusion. No way, could it be that Saint Child really has feelings for Qin Shui? But, that's really not possible. Shuiji, you're right, only what's in front of us is the best. So, can you promise me something, Shuiji? Qin Shui was puzzled. In the next moment. Ah, this way, this won't work. It's okay, Shuiji, I think it's possible. Ah, okay then, sigh. After all, he was the Saint Child, and Qin Shui couldn't resist. Su Qingyang was also dressed in a suit, acting a little angry, and with their difference in status, what could Qin Shui do? Could she resist? If it were any other maid, they would probably be eager to do this and let Su Qingyang manipulate them. But who is Su Qingyang? An ordinary woman could never catch his eye. So Qin Shui was destined to be different. Wow, feels so good. Xiaoyang, that's right, Qin Shui agreed to Su Qingyang's request to rest her knees on his lap. At this moment, Su Qingyang leaned against Qin Shui's thigh and felt extremely comfortable. Qin Shui possessed the charm that mature women should have, and the key point was her weight. Pressing on Su Qingyang's head, he felt dizzy, with even the light in his line of sight blocked. Shuiji, you have a great figure. Xiaoyang, you. Qin Shui blushed, feeling a strange sensation in her heart when she was praised by the young and handsome Saint Child Su Qingyang. Like this, it feels pretty good. Ah, Qin Shui, what are you thinking? You're not young anymore, and Saint Child is so young, you shouldn't think too much. Feeling the soft touch of the tender flesh on his thigh, Chingy Yang felt that all the pressure from his transmigration had become lighter. It seemed like even worrying about the male lead Linten crushing him, the antagonist, was no longer important. At this moment, he just wanted to lie in Qin Shui's arms and sleep between her legs. Shuiji, can you promise Xiaoyang something? What is it again? Qin Shui sighed, feeling like she was trapped in a demonic cave. But she had no choice but to follow the orders of the esteemed Saint Child. Moreover, for some reason, she couldn't bring herself to refuse when she looked at the handsome and elegant Saint Child. On the other hand, Chingy Yang felt the warmth and softness of Qin Shui's body, different from the freshness and innocence of a young girl. He could clearly feel the mature charm unique to a woman on Qin Shui's body. Being so close, he even felt like he couldn't control himself. But as a strong antagonist, how could Chingy Yang be defeated by such a small temptation? So can Sister Shui hug me? No, it's not allowed. Xiaoyang, this really can't be done. Sister Shui is already in her 30s, while you're still young, you should focus on your cultivation. Don't let your mind wander to inappropriate places. Qin Shui lectured Chingy Yang. Chingy Yang replied, Sister Shui, what are you thinking? Have you seen Xiaoyang do anything to you? It's just a knee pillow. Sister Shui, you're so beautiful, Xiaoyang just wants to experience what it feels like to have a mother. After all, Xiaoyang has never had parents by his side since he was young. Sister Shui, can't you fulfill this small request from Xiaoyang? Qin Shui felt both sympathetic and reluctant to accept Chingy Yang's request, as he mentioned her lonely childhood without parents to rely on. She was in a dilemma. At this moment, Chingy Yang began. Sister Shui, don't worry, I won't do anything to you. I'm a good person, I just want to hug Sister Shui, nothing more. Well then, although she said so, Qin Shui was a clever person. Could she really refuse Saint Child Chingy Yang? No, she couldn't. So what happened next? Qin Shui instinctively closed her eyes. Chingy Yang embraced her, feeling the warmth in his arms. Then, he said with gratitude, Thank you, Sister Shui. Actually, I've always envied what others say about having a mother at home, the taste of eating meals cooked by a mother. Women always fall step by step like this. Sister Shui must be so beautiful, gentle, and good at cooking. Leaning against Qin Shui's embrace, perhaps Qin Shui's embrace was too warm, and before long he felt drowsy. In just a moment, Chingy Yang fell asleep. A faint breathing sound could be heard. At this moment, Qin Shui was also a bit exhausted from Chingy Yang's antics. After all, it was fine for her to be a maid, as she wouldn't have any psychological burden. At most, she just needed to be careful not to offend the Saint Child with her words and actions. And generally, the Saint Child wouldn't give her a hard time. But now, it was different. She unexpectedly took on the responsibility of taking care of the Saint Child, and even let the Saint Child call her Shuiji, while she called him Xiaoyang. She felt both shy and somewhat worried. However, what she cared about was, the Saint Child is also a pitiful person. Perhaps he really wished his mother was still alive when he was young. In that case, I'll cook a meal for the Saint Child to taste. Qin Shui didn't know that since that cooking incident, she had completely fallen into Chingy Yang's clutches, unable to escape from his grasp. After covering Chingy Yang with the blanket and observing his sleeping appearance for a while to confirm that the Saint Child was asleep, she quietly left. Saint Child, Qin Shui will make a bowl of plain noodle soup for you. When I was young, I didn't have any family, and occasionally I could only eat this plain noodle soup. Perhaps the taste is average, but it definitely won't disappoint Xiaoyang. Even though Chingy Yang was sound asleep, his brows still showed a hint of worry, as if his heart was filled with frustration. Seeing this, Qin Shui couldn't help but feel sorry for him, but she also went to the kitchen to busy herself. Saint Child, it's time for your meal. I don't know how much time had passed, but it was already getting dark. The voice of a maid could be heard outside the training room, but it wasn't Qin Shui's voice, it was another attendant's. Chingy Yang slowly woke up and checked the time and the weather outside. Okay, I'll be right there. It's been a long time since I slept so comfortably. Su Qingyang walked out and headed towards the Saint Child restaurant. Outside the door, 4 maids stood with great poise. Inside, there were 18 maids standing in a row, a large table filled with delicious food. Immortal water duck, crystal shrimp, flower-carved carp, clear tea fish, soup meat. It's mealtime again, and Su Qingyang saw so many rare and delicious dishes. Even in his previous life, he had never experienced such luxury and extravagance. He should have been tempted by the sight, but having just eaten such a sumptuous meal at noon, he couldn't help but feel bored. He had no appetite because he had already eaten such a luxurious meal at noon. Where is Qin Shui? Saint Child, are you referring to Qin Shui, the attendant? Looking at the table full of delicacies, even these attendants had to endure their cravings. Su Qingyang, on the other hand, waved his hand to show his disinterest, making them envious and curious about why the Saint Child had been calling for Qin Shui lately. Soon, a scene that shocked them appeared. Qin Shui was wearing an apron, exuding the charm of a mature housewife. She looked quite plump and mature, and most importantly, she held a bowl of noodle soup with enthusiasm on her face. Saint Child, Qin Shui is here. Su Qingyang's gaze fell on her, and a light fragrance wafted into his nose and mouth. It didn't have the rich aroma of rare delicacies, but it had a different kind of allure. Qin Shui, Saint Child, this is a bowl of plain noodle soup that I made for you. You said you wanted to try it, so I specially made it. Qin Shui's face was a little nervous. She didn't know if her cooking was good enough. She looked somewhat anxious as she glanced at Su Qingyang. Meanwhile, the hearts of the surrounding attendants began to grumble. Just like this, she's trying to seduce Saint Child. If Saint Child can eat it, I'll practice standing on my head. Hey, when did this little brat start hitting on Saint Child? Just look at her cheap appearance, how dare she? She looks so slutty, and she wants to seduce Saint Child. How dare Qin Shui? Does she think that by making a bowl of vegetarian noodles, she can make Saint Child happy? This is going to be interesting. I bet when Saint Child sees Qin Shui's bowl of vegetarian noodles, he will see it as an insult and punish her severely. This is going to be a good show. Quote. Countless attendants cast their gazes, watching Qin Shui nervously approach and place the noodles on Su Qingyang's seat. Hearing the mocking thoughts of the countless attendants, Su Qingyang frowned, wondering if he had misjudged Qin Shui's intentions. Soon, Su Qingyang's actions shocked the surrounding attendants, who secretly questioned if they had seen it wrong. They saw that when Su Qingyang faced Qin Shui, he immediately became happy, with a smile on his face. Su Qingyang knew that his previous actions had worked. He put on a serious expression and stood up to personally take the noodles made by Qin Shui. Qin Shui, you did a great job. This dish looks very delicious. Saint Child, be careful, it's a bit hot. It's okay, this Saint Child really likes it. Qin Shui, don't you want to try it too? It's okay, Saint Child, I'm not hungry. And there's a huge difference in our statuses, I hope Saint Child can understand. It's okay, Qin Shui, come and have some. In front of the countless attendants, Su Qingyang took out the bowl he had used and scooped out half of it for Qin Shui. Qin Shui was shocked by Su Qingyang's actions. Weren't we supposed to continue our master-servant relationship in public? Saint Child, so many people are watching. Qin Shui's face blushed, feeling that this was inappropriate. But Su Qingyang didn't care about any of that. Saint Child, this is absolutely not allowed. Saint Child, you have such a high status, and I, Qin Shui, am just a lowly attendant. It's okay, Qin Shui, sit here, next to me. Su Qingyang patted the seat next to him. Just a woman, everyone likes to be favored by others. After this wave, handled perfectly, sure enough, I saw the attendants around me shocked, jealous, and envious. What's going on? What's wrong with the Saint Child? He cares so much about an attendant, why doesn't the Saint Child care about me? I envy Qin Shui. What's going on? Why is the Saint Child so good to Qin Shui? It's really enviable. But they could only envy, thinking that the Saint Child would look down on and punish Qin Shui, but they didn't expect that the Saint Child had long been involved with Qin Shui, making them envy, jealous, and resentful. Ah, it smells so good, Qin Shui, try it. Originally, what Su Qingyang promised was that he wouldn't call her, Miss Shui, in normal times, after all, it would be inappropriate for his status, but it didn't mean that he couldn't have such a relationship with Qin Shui. Saint child. Qin Shui looked at the table full of delicacies and thought that the saint child might not like the plain noodles she made, but Su Qingyang was so excited. It was a performance that he didn't care about the delicacies but wanted to eat the noodles she made. It made her quite touched. Qin Shui, what's wrong with you? Are you not hungry? No way, I think the noodles you made are really delicious. Qin Shui, try it. The most outrageous thing was that Su Qingyang used his own chopsticks to pick up food for Qin Shui, in a shameless manner of wanting to feed her. Qin Shui, if you can't eat, it's okay, I'll feed you. No, saint child, I can do it myself. If Su Qingyang really fed her, Qin Shui would feel too embarrassed to face anyone. She was a person who understood etiquette, so she could only sit next to Su Qingyang and eat with him. Qin Shui, it really tastes delicious, what do you think? As long as the saint child likes it, it's good. Because it's what the saint child said, I took the liberty to make it, hoping that the saint child would like it. Qin Shui is truly a gentle and virtuous wife. Her skills are also so good, she will definitely become a good wife. To be honest, if you praise a girl like this in normal circumstances, she would think you're being exaggerated. But not now. With Su Qingyang's excited expression, and because he really thought Qin Shui's noodles were good, he naturally praised her. Women can't resist sincere compliments from the opposite gender, especially when they are praised for being gentle, virtuous, understanding, and polite, and being able to be a good wife, and so on. As long as it's not exaggerated and the effect is right, it's definitely the trick to win someone's favor. Saint child, sir. Qin Shui felt a bit shy and embarrassed. She was not young anymore, but being praised by saint child like this made her feel a strange sensation in her heart. I didn't expect saint child to be such a friendly person, and his words are so pleasant. Next, amidst the jealous gazes of countless maids, Su Qingyang took Qin Shui to eat the noodles she made, which were delicious. After finishing the meal, Su Qingyang, with the idea of taking a walk after eating, took Qin Shui for a stroll under the beautiful starry sky. The night view of Saint Child was also beautiful, with many lakes and rivers, and the road was adorned with various spiritual stone lamps, very beautiful. Shuiji, you're so beautiful. Where, Xiaoyang, you're talking nonsense again. Qin Shui was always praised by Su Qingyang, and coupled with Su Qingyang's sincere expression, she felt very embarrassed. And no woman can resist being praised for being beautiful by the opposite gender, even if it's insincere praise, as long as you say nice things. Even if she pretends to be angry on the surface, deep down she is actually happy. Just like now, Qin Shui said to Su Qingyang, Xiaoyang, you always talk nonsense. If you keep doing this, Shuiji will ignore you. Although she said this, Qin Shui gave Su Qingyang a disdainful look, and that moment of charm made him lose focus, but then he happily laughed. No, Xiaoyang is speaking the truth. The two of them unknowingly took a late stroll, just like college lovers in their past lives, leisurely wandering and talking about love on campus at night. The only difference is that Su Qingyang is more proactive and enthusiastic because he knows that Qin Shui, being an older woman, would not be as passionate towards him as a young girl would be. Qin Shui is more composed and dignified, even when walking. She truly lives up to being a character emphasized in novels, her image is truly distinct. No matter what Qin Shui does, she exudes a mature and steady feeling. As for those excessive actions, it was purely because Su Qingyang was too enthusiastic, and Qin Shui was just feeling embarrassed. Suddenly, Qin Shui was in a good mood while walking, but in the next moment, her expression tightened, her brows furrowed, and she fell to the ground, revealing a painful expression. Su Qingyang felt extremely distressed upon seeing this. Shuiji, what happened to you? Qin Shui was in so much pain that she couldn't speak. Normally, she would have already gone to bed at this late hour, enduring this soul-crushing illness alone in her dormitory. But today, Su Qingyang invited Qin Shui to take a walk together. She never expected to suddenly have an attack. Qin Shui had a pained expression, struggling to endure the torment in her body, finding it difficult to even make a sound. Seeing the beautiful Qin Shui in such a state, Su Qingyang guessed that it was the soul-crushing illness mentioned before. Shuiji, wait for me, I'll treat you right away. Su Qingyang's time to perform had come. He embraced Qin Shui's voluptuous waist, feeling the soft touch between his fingers and chest, but he didn't savor it in detail. Because there would be plenty of time for that in the future, and even more exciting things. What's important now is to show concern for Qin Shui. Su Qingyang immediately brought Qin Shui to the training room. At this moment, Qin Shui was already sweating profusely, with a slightly abnormal redness on her face. Her pained expression evoked a sense of pity. Ah, it's so uncomfortable. Why does the heavens treat me like this? Saint Child is so kind and caring, but unfortunately, I can't speak. Where can I find the soul treasure? Qin Shui exclaimed in her heart, unable to express it with her body, but able to perceive the outside world. This made Su Qingyang's eyes light up. He acted even more sincerely. Right, Shuiji mentioned that the soul treasure. It can treat her problem. Su Qingyang pretended to shout anxiously in the training room, talking to himself. Qin Shui, who was in a vegetative state, could hear everything and felt a slight movement in her heart. But it didn't end there. Ordinary soul treasures definitely can't completely cure Shuiji's problem. And Shuiji is very important to me. I will use the best soul treasure to heal you. Let Shuiji never have to endure this torment again. Su Qingyang continued. Although I've never heard of this kind of illness since becoming the Saint Child. No, I have to go find my uncle. My uncle is the Holy Lord, he must have a solution. Ah, ever since I had an argument with my uncle 2 years ago, he hasn't paid any attention to me. Now if I go and ask him, he will definitely be overjoyed and will also educate me in various ways. I hate it when people try to educate and scold me. But Shuiji, don't worry. How can someone as gentle as you suffer from such a painful illness? The heavens are really unfair. I, Su Qingyang, will definitely save you. Su Qingyang's performance was extremely excited, with words full of emotion and a sense of determination, making Qin Shui think that Su Qingyang would even be willing to humble himself and beg the Holy Lord for medicine for her sake. And Su Qingyang said he would use the best soul treasure to treat her. Then Su Qingyang locked the training room and left. Saint Child, Xiaoyang, unable to move and enduring the pain, Qin Shui's mind wandered, not knowing what to think. She was starting to empathize with that feeling. Although they had only recently met, Saint Child could be said to be the best opposite gender she had ever encountered in her life. Although there is an age difference between the two. However, Qin Shui is intelligent and experienced. She understands very well what kind of man is good and what kind of man is not. And Su Qingyang, naturally, he has joined the ranks of those who value her greatly in her heart. After about half an hour, Su Qingyang came in from outside. When he came in, you could still see Su Qingyang with disheveled hair, completely lacking the appearance of a saint child, looking like a frostbitten eggplant. No image at all, but the more so. The more it adds to the authenticity of his acting. In order to confuse and capture Qin Shui's heart. To make Qin Shui belong to Su Qingyang with her whole being. I saw Su Qingyang's eyes bloodshot, his expression excited. Sister Shui, look at what I brought. The Holy Land has a kind of soul treasure, produced once every 300 years, extremely rare, priceless. And even the elders find it extremely difficult to obtain. I argued with my uncle for half a day. He kept asking me what I wanted to use it for. I originally said it was for cultivation, but the more we argued, the angrier I got, and I accidentally revealed it. He heard me say it was for a woman. I almost made him angry to death, and I even fought with my uncle. In the end, he couldn't bear it anymore, afraid that something would happen to his spoiled nephew, so he had to bestow this treasure upon me. 15th Day Soul Lamp. It even has healing effects on the soul of a saint. Su Qingyang was excited. Sister Shui, if only you could hear me. But it's okay, I will save you soon. Su Qingyang looked excited. He deliberately dressed shabbily, as if he had just experienced something. Although Qin Shui couldn't move, like a vegetable, she could hear everything. Su Qingyang's actions made her feel uncomfortable and panicked. Shuiji, the effect of the hard lamp on the 15th day is extremely powerful. Your cultivation level is weak, so you can't use it directly. But don't worry, with Xiaoyang here, you don't have to worry. I will definitely cure you. It turned out that the plot of the male protagonist saving his mother was being performed by Su Qingyang, and it was even more sincere and valued. It seemed like Qin Shui was being treated as a person whose life was at stake. Shuiji, without you, I feel like there's no meaning to being alone in the Holy Land. So you must get better. Xiaoyang had a sudden realization last night. The saintess doesn't belong to me. But when I saw Shuiji for the second time, I was deeply attracted to her. It's all Xiaoyang's fault for not noticing Shuiji before, but now I won't make that mistake again. As long as Xiaoyang is here, Shuiji will definitely live a happy life. Yes, Xiaoyang and Shuiji together. What Su Qingyang said greatly surprised Qin Shui. Xiaoyang has feelings for me. Him. Qin Shui felt a bit flustered in her heart. She was an older person who had accompanied the saint child for various activities, even hugging and cuddling in the training room, but it was all purely surprising for Su Qingyang's lack of maternal love, having grown up without a mother. So she was extremely eager for someone to accompany her and hold her. But now, she sensed something different. She didn't know if she had misheard, but she felt that Su Qingyang's desire for her was not just a simple longing for family affection, but something else, a strong possessiveness. Yes, Su Qingyang was deliberate, taking advantage of the situation, which is what a villain should do. And there were all kinds of tricks to make these righteous female leads fall. He. Su Qingyang was ecstatic in his heart. In fact, he had this idea from the moment he saw Qin Shui, the male lead's mother, showing symptoms of illness through the system. The best way to win her over. Of course, it was to follow the male lead's path. Leave the male lead with no other choice. And not only that, Su Qingyang wanted to innovate. To be even more outstanding. To make Qin Shui completely surrender to him, body and soul. Sister Shui, there are many ways to use the heart lamp on the 15th day. For weak cultivators or mortals, it can even reach the point of shattering their soul. As long as there is a trace of their origin, they can be reborn. It can be said to be the most precious soul treasure in the yin-yang sacred land. Ordinary disciples will never see such a treasure in their lifetime. But, Sister Shui, do you know? In Xiaoyang's heart, treasures are always just external objects. Only you, Sister Shui, are the most beautiful. Treasures are useless, they are considered waste. Treasures should naturally be used on Sister Shui, who needs them the most. Even if this treasure cannot cure Sister Shui's illness, Xiaoyang will find even more valuable and rare items for Sister Shui. I will definitely cure Sister Shui's illness. From then on, there will be no more suffering, and Xiaoyang and Sister Shui will live a happy life together. Su Qingyang spoke these words with genuine emotion, as if he was willing to give up any precious treasure in the world for Qin Shui. But, Sister Shui, actually, I like you. Xiaoyang has liked Sister Shui since the first time he saw you. In the past, it was the devil in Xiaoyang's heart, always having evil thoughts, not being able to obtain the holy maiden. But yesterday, I suddenly had a strange dream, and you were in it, Sister Shui. I knew then that I can only be happy if I'm with Sister Shui. Only then can I find joy. The holy maiden and such things. Compared to Sister Shui, they are just fleeting in the sky, fallen leaves on the ground. Whoever wants them can have them. I, Su Qingyang, have already grown up. I am no longer the saint child who only had the holy maiden in his heart. Now, Xiaoyang's body and heart are all focused on Sister Shui. As long as Sister Shui gets better. For the usage of this heart lamp, because Sister Shui's cultivation is weak and she cannot do it herself, Xiaoyang needs to personally help Sister Shui with the treatment. It may require intimate contact. Intimate contact. Qin Shui was greatly shocked in her heart, to the point where even the pain in her body became unimportant. Sob. She was moved by Su Qingyang's words. Xiaoyang is really good. Snow Sister listens to Xiaoyang's words. But, Xiaoyang, do you know that Snow Sister already has a child? I can't be with you. And, if this gets out, what will the Holy Land think? Where will your Uncle Holy Lord's face be? His nephew with a low cultivation level, no talent, and a woman who has already had a child. Qin Shui felt anxious and desperate in her heart, but she couldn't do anything about it. If it were any other time, she would definitely strongly refuse. Even if Su Qingyang tempted her with good intentions and persuasive words, she would resist if she could. Although it may be ineffective against her identity as the saint child, she truly understood that it might not matter to herself. But for Su Qingyang, the trouble and damage to his reputation would be too great. Unfortunately, she couldn't speak at all. She could only watch helplessly as tears streamed down her face, trying to resist. But how could Su Qingyang agree? This was exactly what he wanted. Snow sister, if you don't speak, Xiaoyang will take it as your agreement. And, to save Snow sister, this is the only way. Snow sister, Xiaoyang also doesn't want you to be with Xiaoyang and continue to endure this suffering. What use is there for me as the saint child? I can't even save the woman I love. If I can't save Snow sister, then being the saint child is meaningless. Su Qingyang's face was filled with sincerity. After saying that, he directly embraced Qin Shui. Holding her in his arms, spiritual power surged from his body, and a treasure flew out from his storage ring. It was the 15-day return core lamp. The lamp danced in the air, radiating endless brilliance, causing the heavens and earth to change color, illuminating the entire cultivation room with golden light. In an instant, a strong surge of soul energy burst forth, crazily spreading in the air around. Su Qingyang stirred up spiritual power, drawing in those soul forces and inhaling them into the sea of knowledge. And then, woo-woo-woo, even though Qin Shui's whole body was numb, at this moment, her eyes widened. She saw Su Qingyang embracing her and directly kissing her lips, domineering, forceful, without any trace of cowardice. Sometimes, when dealing with a woman who has personal charm, self-thought, a sound mindset, but a body that is soft and enticing, you must understand her needs, but you cannot be too weak. The saying goes, when it's time to be soft, and when it's time to be tough, be tough. Just like Su Qingyang now, he directly lifted Qin Shui, their mouths and noses connecting, crossing that mouthful of soul true qi. Qin Shui's heart was in chaos. Even though she had experienced so much hardship, it had not crushed her. No matter how much she had experienced, even being threatened by illness every day, she had never given in. But at this moment, she felt like she was melting. On one hand, it was Su Qingyang's sincerity. Sister Shui, even if you come up with a bigger excuse or something else. As long as I'm with Sister Shui, I will never let go of Sister Shui. With me, Su Qingyang, Sister Shui can only belong to me forever. Their souls intertwined, one could even say their souls were entwined, a divine connection. Different from the gap between physical bodies, but even more intimate. Being able to convey one's innermost thoughts. Su Qingyang had one thought, showing his true feelings. Everything he thought was seen by Qin Shui. Chapter 14. Su Qingyang boldly expresses his feelings, this time using force. When dealing with this kind of woman, it's not like a young girl who strings you along, as long as you do it properly. You can win her heart. Crush all her excuses and discomfort. She will have no reason or excuse to avoid it. In the end, won't she still yield to you? Qin Shui is the same. The two of them widen their eyes and look at each other. Su Qingyang smells the fragrance emanating from Qin Shui's body. A mature charm, accompanied by a unique feminine scent, combined with Qin Shui's usual disciplined lifestyle, she takes care of herself. There will be a peculiar medicinal fragrance on her body. Su Qingyang doesn't reject it. Instead, he feels it is full of flavor. Shuiji, you smell so good. Su Qingyang is not speaking, but using soul transmission. Qin Shui cannot speak, she can only passively accept, listen, and let Su Qingyang manipulate her. She feels that something is not right with her whole being. While being moved by Su Qingyang, she is also being held, although Su Qingyang is only kissing her. But she can almost say that this is the first time she has had such intimate contact with the opposite gender in a long time. They have become so deeply intertwined. Although it is just crossing the line, it has reached this point. Will Su Qingyang not do anything? In his past life, when it came to dating, he didn't believe that half of the guys wouldn't do this. That is being handsy. Only in this way can it feel the most real when embracing. Unlike during daytime cultivation, where it was just a simple embrace. At that time, he was already continuously pushing the boundaries of Qin Shui's inner limits. Now it is even more thorough, more direct, and more uninhibited. You, Xiaoyang. Qin Shui is very moved, but it is also difficult for her to accept. She really feels that this is not right. It's too impolite. It's too inappropriate. She is much older than Saint Child. She is 36 years old, while Su Qingyang is 18 years old. The age difference is too big. However, in the world of cultivation, where the spiritual energy is abundant, they are still in the cultivator's paradise, yin-yang sacred land. Qin Shui's appearance is nurtured to look like a young beauty in her mid-20s. But her gaze, posture, and overall demeanor are more mature and charming. However, all of this, at this moment, it all belongs to Su Qingyang. Su Qingyang is not in a hurry to cross the line. She has patience. If it happens too quickly, in the end, Qin Shui will feel that she is too eager, lusting after her figure and beauty, unable to pursue the Saint Child, but instead engaging with her subordinate. This is unfavorable for Su Qingyang's plan to deal with the male lead. What he wants is for Qin Shui to wholeheartedly stand by his side. Even if an unforeseen situation arises, and confronts the male lead and is unable to win, Qin Shui will also stand in front of herself, blocking Lin Tian. This is the goal. Everything else is secondary. As someone who studies villainous thoughts, Su Qingyang maintains his rationality. He walks on the edge of madness, enduring the discomfort. But even in discomfort, he must endure, for the sake of the big fish in the future. But for now, he can eat the small fish. While breathing heavily, Su Qingyang feels the softness, touch, and warmth of Qin Shui's body. How delightful, Shuiji, you're so beautiful. At this point, he doesn't forget to praise Qin Shui's beauty, constantly breaking through her bottom line in her heart. Xiaoyang, this is not right. Qin Shui sighs in her heart. She really wants to help Su Qingyang in all seriousness. But she didn't expect Su Qingyang to treat her like this. She felt a bit uncomfortable in her heart. But Su Qingyang is really good to her. In every aspect, what she dislikes the most is, if Qin Shui had talent for cultivation and became an adult at the age of 18, but unfortunately Qin Shui still has a child. Saint Child, how could you treat Saint Child like this? Although Qin Shui doesn't mind herself, but Sister Shui cares about Xiaoyang. In the end, she has completely assimilated into the identity given to her by Su Qingyang, forgetting everything and earnestly experiencing that strange feeling with Su Qingyang. As the former Sea King in her past life, Su Qingyang is adept at this kind of contact and kissing. French, Chinese, Russian. In short, all kinds of magical kissing experiences have truly broadened Qin Shui's horizons. From initial resistance in her heart to gradually feeling that it's actually not impossible. It probably took half an hour, which is 1 hour. Qin Shui gradually feels her body recovering from numbness. In the past, this kind of illness would take several hours to recover. Now it only took 1 hour. And Qin Shui can feel that her soul has become stronger, no longer fragile like before. There is a sense of fullness in her body. Su Qingyang sometimes closes his eyes, sometimes opens them, feeling the warmth between the two. Qin Shui, on the other hand, can't move. After she recovers, she pushes Su Qingyang away. She covers her lips and looks at Su Qingyang with a resentful expression. Xiaoyang, how could you? Sigh. Qin Shui sighs, but the next moment, Su Qingyang hugs her again. She instinctively wants to hide, but how can she hide from Su Qingyang, who has a higher realm? However, Su Qingyang is not taking advantage of her this time. He actively embraces Qin Shui, with a concerned expression. Sister Shui, are you feeling better? Qin Shui blushed, feeling a bit shy. She was already an adult, but she couldn't figure out what Su Qingyang was up to. Xiaoyang, you weren't being honest just now. I had no choice, Shuiji. You don't understand. That medicine, the 15th day return to core lamp, requires someone to be used as a conduit. Your situation doesn't allow for it, so Xiaoyang had to come personally. No, Shuiji knows that. Shuiji wasn't talking about that. Ah, Shuiji, then what were you talking about? Annoying. Xiaoyang, you're being mischievous. After going through a series of intimate kisses, Qin Shui was no longer unfamiliar with Su Qingyang. She realized that Su Qingyang was naughty. Always taking advantage but pretending not to know. Shuiji, were you talking about this? Su Qingyang smirked evilly and held Qin Shui even tighter. Truly deserving of being an E-level powerhouse. She couldn't control herself at all, simply because he was too powerful. Oh my, Qin Shui was truly at a loss this time. Her cultivation level was not as high as Su Qingyang's, and in all aspects, she was weaker. Moreover, her body was somewhat weak, and after her illness, she couldn't withstand Su Qingyang's teasing. Oh my, Xiaoyang, if you keep doing this, Shuiji won't pay attention to you anymore. Ah, all right then. Su Qingyang let go reluctantly, but his eyes were filled with concern. Shuiji, are you feeling better? Xiaoyang, I'm a little better. Thank you. The two of them hugged each other, and this time, Qin Shui didn't struggle. She accepted that Su Qingyang was taking advantage of her. Because she realized that Su Qingyang really liked holding her, as if she was very warm and attractive. Annoying, Xiaoyang, this child is too mischievous. Hey, however, Qin Shui's heart was complicated. She dared not look into Su Qingyang's eyes now, afraid of what it might imply. What girls can't accept the most is when a guy they're interested in confesses their feelings, especially when there has been physical contact between them. This made her unable to forget, and she felt a sense of loss in her heart, something she had never experienced before. If there wasn't that boy, Linten, it would be great. I really want to be with Xiaoyang forever. He's really good to me. Su Qingyang saw Qin Shui's inner thoughts and silently agreed. If only there wasn't Linten. However, he was destined to struggle against Linten. It was the karma between the antagonist and the protagonist, a bond that couldn't be severed. Xiaoyang, actually, when Sister Shui was sick, she could sense what was happening outside. Ah, Sister Shui, is that true? Su Qingyang was shocked, and had a shy expression that revealed his innermost thoughts, filled with the shyness of young love. Surprisingly, this made Qin Shui smile. So, Xiaoyang said that Sister Shui heard it, right? Ah, what should I do? Sister Shui, I really like you. No, Xiaoyang, our identities are too disparate, and Sister Shui doesn't have any cultivation talent. Being with her will only hold you back. In 100 years, she will be an old woman, while you will still be in your prime with a lifespan of thousands or tens of thousands of years. It's not possible. Ding. Destiny Villain System activated. Congratulations to the host for capturing Qin Shui's heart. Progress intimate relationship related to the male lead Linten's important character capture. Rewards available. System reward. Progress in capturing Qin Shui's heart intimate relationship grants the male lead luck value of 300 points, converted into villain value of 300 points. System store is now open. Would the host like to check it out? Check it out. Su Qingyang suggested to himself in his heart and found that the system had already been activated. Later, he would receive rewards for capturing Qin Shui. Equipment, items, spiritual treasures. Heavenly Spiritual Root 300 exchange, Earthly Spiritual Root 150 exchange, Human Spiritual Root 50 exchange. It's really convenient that the system offers a pillow when you're sleepy. This system is really thoughtful. Just when Qin Shui had thoughts of rejection, how could Su Qingyang be defeated now? The prices for equipment and items are mostly in the hundreds or thousands, and some can be bought but are currently not needed. However, among the spiritual treasures, Su Qingyang saw some that were related to aptitude, which could conveniently change Qin Shui's mortal root and the fact that she had no cultivation talent. Sister Shui, so you're worried about the issue of aptitude? Xiaoyang, you understand what Sister Shui is saying, right? Sister Shui doesn't want to burden you either. Qin Shui became absent-minded and her expression became downcast. She actually wanted to be with Su Qingyang, as living alone was truly difficult. Su Qingyang was good in every aspect. Moreover, when she fainted earlier, Su Qingyang sincerely said that he would do his best to save her. She didn't know how touched she was deep down at that time. So later on, Su Qingyang constantly took advantage of her, teasing her, and she could only accept it. After all, Xiaoyang had done so much for her, arguing with the Saint Lord Uncle, making a fool of himself, but he came to save her with a happy face. She wasn't made of iron, her heart was flesh, and she wasn't as greedy as a young girl. She understood restraint and moderation. What's in front of me is the best. The experiences of her older years made her understand and appreciate more. So she had to refuse Su Qingyang even more, for fear of causing too much harm to him, after all, someone of the noble status of the saint child. And, Xiaoyang, Snow's sister has already given birth to a boy. His name is Linten. Linten, Snow Sister, you don't have to worry. Xiaoyang won't care about that. Snow Sister, I really like you. I won't be bound by these external things. And, Snow Sister, you don't have to worry about your aptitude. I am the saint child of Yin Yang sacred land, and uncle is the saint lord. Grandfather is the founder of the sect. How could there not be treasures that can transform a mortal's aptitude? Su Qingyang's sincere confession moved Qin Shui. Actually, even in novels, those kinds of divine objects can only be obtained by the destined male protagonist in the later stages. Usually, they have to break through to become a great emperor or something, and if their talent is not enough, they will be bestowed with opportunities. But now Su Qingyang had a system. What could be difficult for him? Xiaoyang. Qin Shui looked at Su Qingyang's handsome and sincere face, lost in thought. She didn't understand much, but she believed what Su Qingyang said, just based on what she had heard. Su Qingyang was even willing to let her use such a precious soul path sacred object. Could that change the fate of an ordinary person? If even the saint child of Yin Yang sacred land, the grandson of the sect's founder, and the nephew of the saint child couldn't do it, then how many people in the world could? Qin Shui wasn't foolish, she was truly touched. But Xiaoyang, what does Snow Sister have to offer you? Snow Sister is just an ordinary person. If you desire beauty and appearance, based on the efforts and sacrifices you have made, Snow Sister is already willing to give everything to you. It's just that it's too difficult to be together based on appearance alone, really too difficult. Qin Shui understood the pain of time at the age of 36. But how could she resist Su Qingyang's enthusiasm and initiative? Shuiji, do you believe in Xiaoyang? Then you should be with Xiaoyang. Xiaoyang will work hard with you to overcome any difficulties, even if the Holy Lord comes. It won't change my feelings for you, Shuiji. Su Qingyang's face was sincere, and Qin Shui's eyes turned red with emotion. She could feel that Su Qingyang was genuinely good to her. Shuiji, Qin Shui didn't resist, and the two of them naturally kissed each other. Through the intimate contact and confession after the illness, coupled with Su Qingyang's invincible actions, everything that seemed impossible became possible. Qin Shui couldn't think of a reason to reject Su Qingyang. And even if she couldn't change, she had already planned to repay Su Qingyang because she realized that besides her appearance, she had nothing else to offer to attract Su Qingyang. If Xiaoyang wants it, I'll give it to him. Even Qin Shui's inner thoughts were straightforward. Although she resisted before, it was because there were too many obstacles. But now there weren't any, and even if there were, she was willing to do it. The training room was filled with the scent of spring flowers, and the murals on the walls depicted two cultivators of the opposite gender, partially exposed. The entire training room was carefully prepared by Su Qingyang, filled with an intriguing atmosphere. Su Qingyang had long prepared to conquer Qin Shui, and this was the moment he had been waiting for. A moment of spring night is worth 1,000 gold. Moreover, the beauty is like jade, soft and boneless, embracing her in his arms is softer than water. Together they go to the Weaver Girl Bridge, wanting to illuminate the night until dawn. Looking at the person in his arms, clearly not young in age, but appearing tender and delicate, Su Qingyang's physique is so good. Engaging with her truly makes one linger and forget to return. However, Qin Shui is extremely talented, almost understanding and mastering everything she learns, willingly doing anything for Su Qingyang. Her body and mind are devoted to Su Qingyang, just to make him happy. Having such a beautiful wife, why worry about enduring the night and sleepless nights? As the former Sea King in his past life, Su Qingyang respects and takes care of Qin Shui's feelings. Because he understands a principle. No matter how good something is, it can only last longer if well maintained. So he doesn't want Qin Shui to be sad. Although he has more experience than her, Qin Shui is sensible, intelligent, and highly talented. In this way, Qin Shui completely fell. Shuiji, you are truly beautiful. Su Qingyang praised, looking at Qin Shui in his arms uncontrollably. The reflections in his eyes are full of tenderness. Having trained under Su Qingyang, both of them feel joy and happiness. You're annoying, Xiaoyang, you're so bad. The next morning. Early in the morning, Su Qingyang woke up and waved his hand to find that Qin Shui was not in his arms. He didn't know where she had gone. At this moment, there was a sound outside the door. Xiaoyang, are you awake? Shuiji made breakfast for you. Yeah, Su Qingyang's eyes were filled with a smile when he saw Qin Shui coming in. Shuiji, why are you still wearing that maid's dress? Don't you have any other clothes? This one doesn't look good. I only have these. Xiaoyang, don't worry, Shuiji made breakfast, let's eat together. After last night's performance, Qin Shui had completely regarded herself as Su Qingyang's person. After all, they had deep communication and she wouldn't be so shy anymore. However, when walking, Qin Shui limped, showing a little annoyance. But Su Qingyang touched his nose. Shuiji, was I too amazing last night? Shuiji, you need to cultivate your body quickly. Xiaoyang will find a treasure that can help you cultivate. Then we won't have to worry about time and we can be together for a long time. Yeah, Qin Shui's face turned red for a moment. When she thought about being together for a long time, she couldn't help but associate it with Su Qingyang's dominant image, which made her a little troubled. Indeed, he had exhausted her. The following days were spent in Su Qingyang's fussing and treating Qin Shui. Because they needed to come into contact with the Qi-crossing soul treasure, every time they did, the two of them would be immersed in it and reluctant to leave. At first, it was the fusion of their souls and bodies for healing, and Qin Shui could only passively endure it. But after a few days, Qin Shui was gradually able to control her body and soul, and she recovered. The two of them also thoroughly enjoyed the taste and comfort of the fusion of body and soul. Shuiji, how is it? 15 days to return to the core lamp, continuous treatment for 7 days, the treasure has completely merged into your soul. The strength of your soul is several times stronger than others at the same level. As long as you have the aptitude for cultivation, you will definitely not be inferior to ordinary people. Yeah, thank you, Xiaoyang, for being so good to me. Shui, I told you in the morning, what should you call me? Your Highness. Yeah, the two of them were inseparable, living their lives like this. During this period, when Qin Shui's body recovered. Ding, system prompt. Special physique detected in Qin Shui. Alluring and prosperous husband, naturally beautiful, with a unique charm, and possessing exceptional abilities and talents in matters between men and women, she can help accelerate the cultivation of the other party. Not only that, the children born to women with this physique will be exceptionally outstanding and excellent. Single quote exclamation mark single quote. Su Qingyang was shocked. No wonder he had always wondered how he, with such a high cultivation level, could withstand Qin Shui, who was only at the mortal transformation stage of cultivation. Moreover, Qin Shui quickly learned the skills in bed, although she hadn't been fully developed yet. With Su Qingyang's guidance, she learned it in one go, which made him very happy. At one point, Su Qingyang even suspected that it was an enhancement for the female lead. Now it seems that it's because Qin Shui is the mother of the male lead and already has outstanding talent, which is why she can quickly grasp it. After seeing the system's explanation, he also understood why an ordinary person could give birth to such a strong male lead. It's like cheating. Moreover, recently Su Qingyang felt that his own cultivation was showing signs of breaking through to the later stage of the cave mansion realm. All these indicate the extraordinary nature of Qin Shui. This Qin Shui, I, Su Qingyang, have truly found a treasure. Husband, what are you looking at? Nothing, Shui, you look even more beautiful after recovering from your illness. You're teasing me, husband. You're also amazing. Qin Shui blushed and naturally embraced Su Qingyang. She was in a happy mood. Even if life is only a short 100 years, she will be happy. Shui, I have found a treasure that can help you cultivate. Really? Qin Shui's face was filled with happiness and excitement. Yes. Su Qingyang looked serious and took Qin Shui to the training room to exchange for the spiritual root from the systems mall at Integrated Union. He was preparing to let Qin Shui use it and become even stronger. By then, she would have the power to fight back against the male lead, Linten. Husband, you're so good. Qin Shui's face was full of sweetness. She felt that she had never been so happy before. When a woman has no worries in life, is loved, and is also sensible, she almost made Su Qingyang lose himself in this worldly fragrance. Like in a past life, be a dandy saint child. But Su Qingyang hasn't forgotten his goal, he always remembers. The male lead, Linten, will eventually come to find himself. And fulfill the destiny of being trampled under his feet. So he still needs to work harder. The cowherd and the weaver girl want descendants. 6 months later. Husband, it seems like we're pregnant. Really? Yes, husband, you said you really wanted a child. Now we're really pregnant, listen. Actually, Chingy Yang knew a long time ago, but he still had a happy expression on his face. He occasionally, accidentally, revealed that he really wanted a child, seeing Qin Shui giving birth to a baby for him. Qin Shui secretly kept this in mind, so both sides worked hard. Actually, it happened a long time ago. But at that time, Qin Shui couldn't be sure. But now her belly is bulging, she no longer has any doubts. She's really pregnant. Ha ha ha, he seems to be kicking, let me see. Chingy Yang leaned in, with a happy expression, his ear against Qin Shui's slightly bulging belly. Hey, you naughty, you're still so young. Always joking around. Qin Shui patted Chingy Yang's head, but the smile on her face didn't diminish. She had never felt so happy as a woman. Even though there is no wedding now. But a saint child from a sacred place is devoted to her, she feels fortunate in her 3 lives. Not only that, her life has become happy, with someone to love and care for her. Both sides are so sincere in their intentions, it makes Qin Shui forget about the past. And now she can cultivate. Her cultivation level is accompanied by her union with Chingy Yang. Her physique has awakened, her spiritual roots have been enhanced, and her cultivation speed is extremely fast. The elite disciples of the Holy Land have become even stronger. They have reached the level of true disciples. She can be called the number 1 in talent below the saint child. Oh right, sure, let's give the child a name. But, husband, we still don't know if it's a boy or a girl. It doesn't matter, let's think of 2 names, we'll have one eventually. Oh, husband, you're so annoying. Qin Shui had a sweet expression on her face, while Chingy Yang looked happy. He could feel that if the child were to be born, it would definitely take away the male protagonist's luck. And it probably wouldn't be a small amount. Because, for what reason, the male protagonist has directly become his stepson. Chingy Yang has become Linten's stepfather, this feeling of suppression. Tisk tisk, the luck must be terrifying. Husband, I once had a boy named Linten. Husband's surname is Su, so if it's a boy, let's name him Su Bai, and if it's a girl, let's name her Su Ya. How about that? Ha ha ha, good, very good, husband likes it. Qin Shui, you're amazing. Chingy Yang was very happy because he had read a few books in his previous life, and Su Bai and Su Ya were obviously the names of the male protagonist and the female protagonist siblings in a novel. Truly the mother of a novel's male protagonist. As long as they have a child, they will all be protagonists. So, Linten, I'm really looking forward to it. If I see that you have a younger brother, also a child of destiny, and you fight against each other, how would it feel? I wonder if my child, Chingy Yang's child, can kill you. In fact, every story in a book is like this. Slaying dragons to become a dragon. If the original antagonist, Chingy Yang, had died and left behind a child, it would probably be another male protagonist. One day, he would use a script where he loses his loved ones due to deep-seated hatred and kill Linten. The tides of fortune always turn. It's just happening earlier now. Ha ha ha. Profound heaven continent, with its overlapping territories and complex and vast regions. It is filled with various mysteries and unknowns, as well as powerful relics and treasures. In the central and southern region of the continent, there is a spatial node called the Life and Death Secret Realm. Ripples spread out, symbols twist and turn, countless mysterious patterns are engraved on them, and the ancient text is extremely incomprehensible. Pop! A figure popped out from inside, in a very rude manner, without any sense of delicacy or tenderness. The figure flew in the air, performing a series of movements, creating a circle of flowers in the sky. Despite the tattered clothes and dirty appearance, it did not affect her lightness. Yes, this person is Wu Qingran, the saintess of the Yin-Yang sacred land. Phew, finally came out. Wu Qingran first breathed a sigh of relief, placing her palm on her chest to show a sense of relaxation. Obviously, her previous experience was extremely difficult and dangerous, causing her to be tense and exhausted. But finally being able to come out naturally made her happy, and a joyful smile appeared on her dirty little face. If Chingy Yang were here, he would definitely be surprised. Ha, junior sister can still smile. I didn't expect that. There's no way around it. Wu Qingran has always maintained the image of a cold and aloof goddess, so there are few things that can excite her. But now there is. HMPH. Senior brother, when I went out for training before, your cultivation surpassed mine. The elders all praised your talent, but now you're only at the late stage of the cave mansion realm. If senior brother was just pretending back then and still hasn't achieved anything now, then he will definitely be surpassed by me. Moreover, senior brother, I have gathered the resources and am waiting to return them to you. By then, I will be able to continue cultivating in the sacred land without being disturbed by senior brother. Thinking of these things, Wu Qingran owes her improved cultivation to the pressure from her senior brother, which led to her experiencing various dangers and her cultivation realm soaring. A few years ago, Wu Qingran was only at the early stage of the cave mansion realm. Now she has already reached the late stage of the cave mansion realm. The improvement is terrifying. Sure enough, only through trials and tribulations can one become stronger. Wu Qingran considered that if the death rate wasn't so high, she wouldn't have resorted to this method to improve herself. But she is a saint, able to live a good life. Her cultivation level will also improve, with the cultivation and resources provided by the Holy Land. The only difference is the speed of her cultivation. There is absolutely no need for her to consider herself a beggar and struggle like one. Wu Qingran clenched her fists tightly. This year of working has been extremely difficult for her. Sometimes, she felt as weak as an ant in a corner, trembling and waiting for hope. After experiencing all of this and returning stronger, Wu Qingran felt that her state of mind had changed. She seemed more ethereal and transcendent. Wu Qingran changed her appearance and found a river to wash away the dirt and stains on her body. Instead of leaving, she waited for a while. After a few days, a figure emerged from the ripples of the secret realm. This person was not thin and weak. Their features were filled with a domineering aura, and there were two faint purple flames flickering in their eyes. Their temperament was extraordinary. There was a hidden aura of a dragon floating around their body. But anyone with a little sense of observation could easily spot this person in the crowd. Although not as handsome as Su Qingyang, nor as gentle and amiable as Su Qingyang in terms of temperament, there was only a sense of unruly arrogance and recklessness, truly a carefree person. After coming out, this person didn't even bother to look around, their gaze fixed straight ahead, coincidentally where Wu Qingran was. When Wu Qingran saw this slightly mature young man, her eyes narrowed, and she took the initiative to speak. Linten, you've come out. It's you. Linten spoke, and yes, this person was the male lead. Kid, that woman is the ice phoenix goddess I saw in the secret realm before. Her true power hasn't been fully unleashed yet. But it will happen in the future. When that time comes, if you have a relationship with her, your talent and potential will reach a higher level that ordinary people cannot achieve. Hearing the voice of Wu Lao, the old man in his heart, Lin Tian responded indifferently. Why? Because he, Lin Tian, was the reincarnation of the deeply affectionate great emperor. But there was a mistake during his ascension to the higher dimensional plane, causing him to be reborn at the age of 16. He is already 17 years old now. It's just been a year. There haven't been many butterfly effects or changes in everything. The script for all of this, including Wu Qingran, Su Qingyang, and others, he knows all the roots. What will happen? Even this ring, Wu Lao, a top-level Saint Realm powerhouse. He took him as his disciple in his previous life. But in his previous life, when Wu Lao's cultivation reached an astonishing level, he had the intention to kill him and take over his body, just because he carried various treasures, secret techniques, and talents. The possibility of becoming a great emperor. So, even the Saint Realm Wu Lao couldn't resist the temptation and chose to kill him. But fortunately, he is the protagonist chosen by destiny, and he won't die no matter what. And those who can't kill him will only make him stronger. As for the intentions of this ring, Lin Tian naturally knows. But currently, his cultivation level is not enough, and he can't kill Wu Lao. Moreover, Wu Lao is still useful to him. Some secret realms, treasures that can be opened, only Wu Lao can do it, and Wu Lao has integrated his soul with the heavenly fire. So killing him is not meaningful. Consuming all the resources is Lin Tian's plan. And also, As a passionate great emperor, how can he not be passionate? Looking at the beautiful and arrogant Wu Qingran in front of him, Linten already regards her as his possession. Wu Qingran saw someone more arrogant and aloof than herself for the first time. It made her feel a bit frustrated in her heart, and she has been waiting anxiously for a few days. The result was just a, but she couldn't say anything either. Previously, in the secret realm, Linten saved her from danger several times, although Wu Qingran had a high spirit. But she is also a person with a conscience. Since others have helped her so much, it is only natural for her to give something in return. Linten, since you said you haven't joined any sect or sacred land, how about I bring you into the Yin-Yang sacred land? He responded indifferently as usual. Wu Qingran felt like she had encountered an iceberg. She suddenly felt a bit sorry for her senior brother Saint Child, who had been so enthusiastic towards her for 18 years. Senior brother must have had a hard time. But she couldn't possibly like Su Qingyang. She didn't know why, but she just didn't like him. Instead, she became slightly interested in this even more indifferent Linten. Even though his cultivation level was not high, it was because the secret realm suppressed people to the lowest level of cultivation. Only then could Wu Qingran discover Linten's uniqueness and his surpassing strength within the same realm. Otherwise, Wu Qingran wouldn't even spare a glance at this mortal transformation realm Linten in normal circumstances. A cultivator as weak as him. Wu Qingran could easily crush him with just one finger. But after experiencing the secret realm, even after coming out, Wu Qingran felt that the man in front of her, Linten, was not simple at all. Even though his cultivation level was so low, he gave off a feeling of being unfathomable. Not to mention killing or defeating him, even if he reached the later stage of the cave mansion realm. Wu Qingran also felt that Linten possessed terrifying means and couldn't be killed at all. When Wu Qingran and Linten had just come out of the secret realm. On the other side, Yin-Yang sacred land, in the sleeping palace of the Saint Child, in the training room. Ding. Destiny antagonist system. Host, conquer Qin Shui. Progress intimate relationship transformed into pregnancy aura. Looting 500 points of luck from male-led Linten has automatically converted into antagonist value. Ding. System prompt. Antagonist value reaches 500. Can activate 5 consecutive draws. Do you want to use it? After using it, you can choose one guaranteed equipment, item, or technique. System. Use it. Guaranteed choice. Technique. Su Qingyang didn't hesitate and decisively activated the antagonist system's 5 consecutive draws. The main reason was the 500 antagonist value. There weren't any good things in the store to exchange for. Even if he exchanged them, he wouldn't be able to use them once his cultivation level improved in the future. So, life is still interesting when it comes to drawing lots. Moreover, from the current situation, what he lacks the most, to be honest, is techniques. As for equipment, he doesn't need it for fighting temporarily, and he doesn't know what the items will be because the rewards given by the system are varied. Only techniques are the most practical. As long as the male lead Linten hasn't appeared yet, he can cultivate and become stronger. It is something that can truly enhance himself, not external objects. Ding. 1 pair of Saint Girl Wu Qingran's underwear. Sacred item. Oh, what is this thing? Su Qingyang was dumbfounded. Ding. Obtained a copy of the secret Yin-Yang sacred art of the sect's founder. Oh, it's the handwritten copy my grandfather used to practice. Ding. Elder Zi Yun's secret. Quote ? Ding. System special made Spirit Wheel Realm Experience Potion. After use, it allows one to enter the Spirit Wheel Realm without any threshold from the Cave Mansion realm. Ding. Guaranteed technique. Great Sun Emperor Art. Emperor grade. Incomplete. The technique is only partially complete, and proficiency will be automatically maxed out after use. Oh, these two are great treasures. Wow, Su Qingyang was stunned. This was the divine technique he made up before to deceive Qin Shui, but he didn't expect the system to directly produce it. And this lottery is too exciting. There's everything. The first 3 are strange, but grandfather's cultivation experience is not bad. It can accelerate Su Qingyang's cultivation progress in the Saint grade technique, Yin-Yang sacred art. The next 2 are even more impressive. One can enhance one's realm, and the other is the most powerful technique in terms of realm, although they are incomplete, they far surpass what Chingy Yang currently possesses. Great. An 18-year-old spirit wheel realm. Wow. Chingy Yang was shocked by his own talent. He was ready to use it immediately. At the entrance of Yin Yang sacred land, a formation lit up, and several figures appeared. After a year, the saintess Wu Qingran finally returned. And she brought someone with her. It was the male lead, Linten. Linten, this is where I grew up, Yin Yang sacred land. Let's go complete the mission together. Okay, Linten responded calmly, without any expression, making it difficult to discern his thoughts. Wu Qingran led Linten towards the mission hall of the sacred land. Inside the mission hall, countless disciples and cultivators were dressed in magnificent attire. The clothing of the sacred land was very grand, resembling immortals, with blue robes and long hair tied up. The men were handsome, and the women were ethereal, with extraordinary appearances. Although they were not peerless, they were considered top existences in the mortal world. Look, it's the saintess. Ah, it really seems to be her. It's been a year. The saintess has finally returned. The saintess is so beautiful. Yes, we can finally see the saintess's divine face. I almost missed her to death. Crazier than being a fan, Wu Qingran was truly beautiful, attracting attention wherever she went. When she arrived at the crowded mission hall of Yin Yang sacred land, all the disciples and cultivators couldn't help but admire her beauty and how much they missed her. Regardless of gender, it was pure admiration and faith. This wave of praise made Wu Qingran, as the saintess, feel a bit dazed. It's been so long since I came back. This feeling, Wu Qingran murmured softly, obviously feeling a bit unfamiliar after a year. However, I believe she will soon adapt. Dancing girl, they are all praising your beauty. The dancing girl is indeed very beautiful. Linten spoke at the right time. He rarely speaks, but when he does, it is always in appropriate situations, never making others feel uncomfortable. Wu Qingran was used to this kind of praise, but after a long time, she felt a strange sense of joy in her heart when she heard Linten praise her again. It felt like being noticed by someone who usually receives attention. After all, she sensed a lot of aloofness from Linten, and she didn't expect him to speak so nicely. He is completely different from senior brother. Senior brother praises me because he likes me. But fellow Taoist Linten is different. He must really think I'm good looking. Stop, Qingran, what are you thinking? Wu Qingran subconsciously thought too much. That's how people are. When Chingy Yang is good to her, she acts foolishly, but when Linten is not good to her, she takes the initiative to approach him. Fellow Taoist Linten is exaggerating. It's just a reputation. At this time, in the main hall, some elders and cultivators noticed them. After all, Wu Qingran, as the holy maiden, had an extraordinary temperament and appearance. And Linten, there was a faint aura of an emperor, full of dominance, masculinity, and a carefree feeling. It made people's eyes light up, and they couldn't help but wonder who this person was. Holy maiden, you're back. Wait, you've already reached the late stage of the cave mansion realm. The elder was shocked. Not only that, elder, when I was away, I took on many tasks. Although I didn't complete all of them, I did accomplish some. Wu Qingran was a little proud. Immediately, the elder exclaimed. What the, holy maiden, the life and death secret realm in the central southern region. And you brought back the techniques from the dungeons. What, holy maiden, awesome. Countless elders were immediately shocked and excited, coming over to inspect the items and things Wu Qingran had delivered. What the, Lady Holy Maiden has already reached the late stage of the cave mansion realm. This is too terrifying. Late stage of the cave mansion realm at 18 years old. Not only that, did you just hear it? The elder said what? The Holy Lady has returned from the life and death secret realm in the central and southern region. And she brought back the legacy techniques of powerful cultivators inside. Amazing. The Holy Lady is truly a peerless talent. She will definitely become a prominent figure in the Yin-Yang continent in the future. Yes, the Holy Lady is so awesome. We, the Holy Land cultivators, are in awe. The compliments from countless elders and disciples made Wu Qingran feel a bit elated. It has been a long time. How long has it been since she felt this kind of love and atmosphere in the Holy Land? Indeed, she was born to be the Holy Lady. Not only that, she also heard the words she wanted to hear the most. The Holy Lady's talent is so terrifying. She is in the late cave mansion stage, while it is said that the saint child is always fooling around with women and his cultivation has only reached the mid-cave mansion stage. It seems that the heavy responsibility of the Holy Land should be entrusted to the Holy Lady. Yes, the Holy Lady is amazing. Compared to the Holy Lady, what is the saint child? This time, Wu Qingran truly felt refreshed. She had worked hard for a year, just to repay the resource debt owed to Senior Su Qingyang, and the process was extremely difficult. This moment is the time for her to reap the rewards. Meanwhile, Linten, who was beside her, perked up his ears. Hee, that playboy saint child Su Qingyang. Laughable.jpg. Linten remained calm in his heart. He still had an impression of the first stepping stone saint child from his previous life. Without a doubt, he remembered that the saint child was this Wu Qingran's lackey. Compared to his deep affection as the great emperor Linten, the difference was huge. He, Linten, never acted as a lackey. Instead, he let women willingly lie in his embrace, even if it was someone like Wu Qingran, who was as cold as an iceberg. If Su Qingyang knew his thoughts, he would definitely mock him. Without the protagonist halo, you, Linten, are just a loser. You don't flirt with women and yet you expect them to throw themselves at you. What a joke. But of course, being a lackey is also not right. Who is this person? Such extraordinary temperament, and standing next to the Holy Lady. This is a treatment even the saint child doesn't have. Wow, if you didn't say it, I wouldn't have known. The Holy Lady actually has a mature and steady young man by her side. But how is he only at the mortal transformation realm? Yes, it's so strange. Upon hearing the surrounding voices and seeing the expressions of surprise, Linten remained calm, with only a slight smile at the corner of his mouth. I really miss my youth and teenage years. When I reveal my talent as a young great emperor. I wonder what expressions those cultivators will have. Of course, Linten wouldn't say it out loud, but being praised, he did feel a sense of joy in his heart. Cultivation is about improving oneself, not turning oneself into an Iron Man. Having a superior mindset only means it's not easy to break through and is more suitable for cultivation, but there are certainly normal emotions and attitudes in everyday life. However, Linten is used to maintaining a calm and indifferent demeanor. Beside him, Wu Qingran secretly glanced at Linten and saw him smiling. She immediately felt relieved, realizing that this Linten likes being in the yin-yang sacred land. For some reason, Wu Qingran was subtly concerned about Linten and hoped that he would stay. Moreover, she estimated that with Linten's talent, it wouldn't be long before he could climb to the peak and stand above the secular world. Linten, you're only at the mortal transformation realm now. I hope you don't mind what these disciples of the sacred land are saying. And with your talent, becoming a strong cultivator is only a matter of time. Wu miss, it's fine. Besides, they're just low-level cultivators, nothing to worry about. Originally, Wu Qingran wanted to comfort Linten, fearing that he would be affected by the atmosphere around him. Unexpectedly, when Linten spoke, he sounded so arrogant. The key point is, Linten didn't even try to conceal his voice. He openly expressed his inner thoughts in front of the public, clearly not putting the cultivators of the yin-yang sacred land in his eyes. Causing countless people around him to grit their teeth and wish they could go up and beat him up. Unfortunately, Saint Child Wu Qingran was on the side, feeling discouraged. But fortunately, it was only a moment. The topic immediately shifted back to praising the saintess for her exceptional talent and continuously praising Wu Qingran for his profound cultivation and extraordinary talent. This made Wu Qingran's heart flutter with joy, clearly enjoying this kind of adoration. Which young person doesn't love being praised by others for their talent or appearance? Vanity is something everyone has. At the same time, Wu Qingran's heart felt a little smug when thinking about Su Qingyang. There was a slight twist in his heart, obviously a sign that his obsession was about to be fulfilled. Senior brother, I have already reached the late stage of the cave mansion realm, surpassing senior brother's cultivation. At the same time, I have collected all the resources. At that time, after returning the resources to senior brother must keep his promise and never disturb Qingran again. Qingran also has her own life. For some reason, Wu Qingran subconsciously glanced at Linten. She missed the time they spent together in the secret realm. This Linten really has a masculine charm, making her unable to resist the desire to get closer to him. And Linten naturally noticed, but he remained motionless, showing no reaction, obviously understanding Wu Qingran's inner thoughts. Little girl, sooner or later you will be mine, Linten's woman. No need to rush. Just as Wu Qingran had finished thinking about all this, immersed in the praise and the advancement of his cultivation, Wu Qingran even began to imagine what expression his senior brother, the saint child, would have when he saw that his cultivation was higher than his own. At that time, Wu Qingran was a little excited. However, the next second, a loud noise shook the entire Yin-Yang sacred land. Boom! An earth-shattering power swept through. Countless elders and powerful figures were shocked and flew out to the outside world to investigate. What's going on? What happened? Why such a loud noise? Look up in the sky. What is that? ... I saw disciples pointing and attracting countless people to watch. Even the elders and disciples in the main hall, including Wu Qingran, were attracted and flew out of the hall to investigate the celestial phenomenon. The next moment, there was another loud noise. Boom! Countless spiritual energy gathered in the heavens and the earth, transforming into long angry dragons, rolling and flying in the sky, capturing the attention of the cultivators. The Yin-Yang sacred land's formation condensed and automatically activated its defense, protecting everything below a certain altitude, fearing the impact of the celestial might. A figure suddenly flew above the high sky of the sacred land. A loud shout resounded throughout the entire Yin-Yang sacred land, igniting the blood of countless people. Today, I, Su Qingyang, will enter the spirit wheel. The tremendous sound transmission spread throughout the entire sacred land. Su Qingyang's face was filled with joy, and his powerful shout reached the heavens, even dispersing the clouds. Countless spiritual energy in the sacred land condensed into auspicious and exotic beasts, golden dragons, phoenixes, cranes, and qilins, all stepping on clouds and galloping in the heavens. Obviously, this was a strong reaction to Su Qingyang's breakthrough in cultivation, a celebration of his advancement. This is a celestial phenomenon that occurs when exceptionally talented individuals reach a higher realm in the world. Previously, Su Qingyang was not so arrogant in the cave mansion realm because he felt that the cave mansion realm at the age of 18 was simply not worth worrying about. Although the holy maiden Wu Qingran was very happy. But Su Qingyang, who had read the entire book, didn't think so. At the age of 18 in the cave mansion realm, to put it bluntly, it's just asking for a beating when going out. But the spirit wheel was different. Going out as a chance to test my skills against a true hidden world genius. Su Qingyang looked up to the sky and let out a long roar, his stern shout shaking the colors of the 9 heavens. Even the heavens and earth were alarmed by his vision. The immense sun and moon techniques twisted, roamed, and transformed into a towering roulette wheel, covering more than half of the Yin-Yang sacred land. Not only that, Su Qingyang's law manifestation unconsciously unfolded. Encompassing thousands of miles, standing in the sacred land, his figure was striking, bright, and awe-inspiring. Above the law manifestation, a huge sun lit up behind his head, suppressing even the brilliance of the sun with his strength. It was precisely the great Sun Emperor's decision that Su Qingyang drew. At this moment, the movement and changes in the world stunned the entire Yin-Yang sacred land. When Wu Qingran, as well as countless cultivators and elders of the mission hall, were attracted by this celestial phenomenon, everyone flew out of the hall to investigate. The key point was that Linten also followed along, but he was thinking more. Weird, what's going on? I remember in my past life, there shouldn't have been any celestial phenomenon when I joined Yin-Yang Ming. The time when the Holy Maiden encountered me during her training outside also came earlier. If it weren't for some karma between me and the little concubine, I might have missed the shortcut to enter the Yin-Yang sacred land. And, if I didn't hear it wrong, that stern shout just now, did it say Su Qingyang? I remember when I came to the Yin-Yang sacred land, Su Qingyang was only at the true human mid-stage. He only reached the cave mansion realm after taking drugs. And his strength was extremely trash. But that was supposed to be next year. The sect competition has already passed. A series of question marks left Linten puzzled. He wasn't scared, just very, very curious. Everything had changed, completely different from the plot he experienced in his past life. Moreover, Linten believed that he hadn't made any butterfly effect-inducing actions at the moment. So he could only go and investigate the owner of that phenomenon, to see if it really was the yin-yang saint child Su Qingyang. Otherwise, Linten would have to change a part of his cultivation plan. Oh my god, it's Saint Child. Saint Child has broken through again. Saint Child, oh my god. I remember that Saint Child just broke through to the mid-stage of the cave mansion realm before the new year. What's going on? How did they suddenly jump to the spirit wheel realm? This is simply unbelievable. Yeah, this is too powerful. Saint Child is truly the reincarnation of a true dragon. With such talent for cultivation, as cultivators can hardly compare. Saint Child is amazing. I can't even think of words to describe my shock. Saint Child is simply terrifying. Spirit wheel realm at 18 years old. Countless cultivators exclaimed, shocked beyond measure, because they're only 18. To have such a high realm at 18 is incredible. It's hard to imagine how strong Saint Child's future cultivation will be in all aspects. Hey, just praise the Saint Lady for being amazing in the late stage of the cave mansion realm, and in the blink of an eye, Saint Child has surpassed her. Saint Child's spirit wheel realm is obviously more outstanding than the Saint Lady's. It has reached the level of an unparalleled genius. I wonder how terrifying it will be when Saint Child competes with other talented individuals from different races in the future. At this moment, the onlookers constantly compared the Saint Lady to Saint Child, as if considering that although the Saint Lady is beautiful, they feel that they prefer Saint Child. After all, Saint Child's cultivation is higher, and the probability of becoming a top powerhouse in the future is destined. As for Wu Qingran, her eyes were filled with complexity at this moment. She didn't know what emotions she was feeling. The excitement that had just returned completely disappeared without a trace, leaving only the shock in her heart. She had worked hard to earn money, saved resources, and honed her realm in life and death situations, thinking that she could happily go find her senior brother in the late stage of the cave mansion realm and repay her debts, clearing the slate between them. And then she could see the expression on her senior brother's face when he was shocked by her cultivation. After all, he had slapped her in the Elder Hall before she left. Now, in the Mission Hall, with so many spectators cheering and cultivators admiring her, she was enjoying these moments. Wu Qingran had never expected this. The slap came so quickly. She hadn't even had a chance to experience the pleasure of returning as a king. Wu Qingran felt a bit lost. Oh, senior brother, how did you break through the realm so quickly? Wu Qingran couldn't help but think of Su Qingyang, and she suddenly became curious about her own Saint Child senior brother. Why is it that senior brother was able to directly advance from the mid-stage of the cave mansion realm to the spirit wheel realm in just 1 year? It's like riding a rocket. In the past, she wouldn't have even dared to think about it. She didn't understand. How could her lazy senior brother, who was supposed to be a wastrel, achieve such a feat? And just now, she heard other disciples talking about how senior brother has been spending a lot of time with a woman lately. She felt that she was right to reject senior brother Su Qingyang. However, until now, she had always thought of her senior brother as a bootlicker, a useless and lazy Saint Child who only had her, Wu Qingran, in his heart and had no sense of cultivation. But thinking back to that day, when senior brother had no expression on his face, and even seemed a bit indifferent. He directly agreed to those things and even threatened her to return those resources. At that time, Wu Qingran was really happy, finally no longer being harassed by this waste of a senior brother. But then, senior brother Su Qingyang showed his power, slapping her face again and again, making Wu Qingran feel uncomfortable. Could it be that senior brother is really this strong? Actually, he has always only had his heart set on Qingran. Could it be that senior brother liked me so much back then? He didn't even spend a moment on cultivation, and instead focused all his thoughts on Qingran. She couldn't help but think of their past, their experiences since childhood. Su Qingyang would give her all the delicious food, fun things, and cultivation resources from a young age. According to reason, she should like Su Qingyang. But reality is often cruel. Not only did she not like senior brother, but she also found his clingy behavior quite repulsive. Feel disgusted, and as she grew older, her senior brother became lazy in his cultivation. Although she felt nothing in her heart, she couldn't help but despise this kind of man who didn't work hard or strive for improvement. Not to mention saying that she liked him and wanted to marry her senior brother, Chingy Yang. But now, Chingy Yang has completely changed, even shocking the elders and earning their praise. They no longer mention Chingy Yang's previous indulgent behavior. Just like the incident that happened in the elders' hall and the meeting hall, Wu Qingran's proud expression became somewhat dazed. She was slapped in the face twice by Chingy Yang, making her doubt her life suddenly. Could it be that my senior brother used to like me so much? She subconsciously thought of some of Chingy Yang's good qualities, and not just that, she realized that Chingy Yang was really treating her too well. Giving her everything, taking care of everything. But she stubbornly refused and distanced herself even more. Now, when she recalls the events of that day, senior brother, could it be that he doesn't like me anymore? That's why his cultivation is progressing so quickly. It has to be said that a woman's intuition is very powerful, almost like Sherlock Holmes. In the past, she would have been happy about this. But now, with everyone praising the saint child, including the elders, she suddenly feels a bit disappointed. Emotions that shouldn't have arisen or born, and her pride and joy from breaking through to the later stage of the cave mansion are all shattered. She realizes. Wu Qingran suddenly realizes. The bootlicking senior brother, Chingy Yang, whom she despised the most, and the saint child, Chingy Yang, whom she disliked the most. They are actually so strong. Strong enough to completely shatter her pride. At this moment, Linten noticed something unusual about Wu Qingran. It seemed like Chingy Yang, who was watching the majestic scene in the sky, was in a daze, with a hint of inexplicable disappointment in his eyes. Male lead Linten suddenly felt a sense of alertness in his heart. No one understands women better than me, the passionate great emperor Linten. How could this little girl develop feelings for that dandy saint child? What's going on? Linten was a bit stunned. He realized that the plot had completely changed, except for the arrival of Yin Yang's sacred land. The holy maiden and the saint child, everything had changed. Dancing girl. Linten felt a slight displeasure in his heart. As a decisive emperor, his woman was actually showing interest and thoughts towards someone else. This was no different from wearing a green hat, even if it was just a little bit. But he, Linten, was the passionate great emperor. The dignity of a great emperor being insulted was a cause for great anger. Fortunately, it was just a slight feeling, but Linten had already developed a murderous intent towards Chingy Yang. Upon hearing Linten speak to him, Wu Qingran immediately snapped out of it, with an uncertain expression, and could only speak softly. Linten, why did my senior brother break through his cultivation realm so quickly? When I left for training earlier this year, my senior brother was only at the mid-stage of the cave mansion realm. But as soon as I returned, he had already broken through to the spirit wheel realm. Upon hearing Wu Qingran's proactive question, Linten naturally took on the responsibility of the male lead to comfort her. It's okay, dancing girl. Flowers bloom in different seasons. Perhaps your saint child's senior brother just happened to obtain some treasures or opportunities, which is why he broke through so quickly. However, those who break through quickly like this often have a relatively unstable cultivation realm. Their true combat power may not be as strong as yours, dancing girl, who broke through life and death trials. Really, fake. Linten inwardly sneered, you actually believe such words, too naive. The reason why the peerless geniuses are peerless is because they often achieve outstanding results in certain aspects, or in all aspects. If someone is still in the true human realm, and another person has already stepped into the spirit wheel realm, even if the true human realm is amazing, can they challenge someone from two major realms above and defeat them? That's definitely impossible. When the realm is higher, many things become different. The spirit wheel realm can activate the manifestation of the laws of heaven and earth, which undoubtedly overwhelms cultivators in the cave mansion realm who are still in the stage of developing their bodies. But of course, Linten wouldn't say this on the surface. And he also knew that Wu Qingran was not in her peak state right now. She would fully unleash her talent after the first time, surpassing to a new level and also elevating her opponent. This is the horror of the ancient Ice Phoenix bloodline. It is also something that Linten must obtain. Yes, Miss Wu, so don't be disheartened. Perhaps your senior brother was just lucky, but he cannot maintain it forever. Think about it. I actually think that Miss Wu is the true genius, focusing only on cultivation. Often, strong individuals need this kind of mindset to achieve success. Throughout the ages, countless talented individuals have been arrogant, but truly powerful ones, without exception, are those who persist until the end. Miss Wu's cultivation journey has just begun. At the age of 18, why be so anxious? Upon hearing what Linten said, Wu Qingran felt that it made a lot of sense, and she could feel that Linten cared about her. Feeling a bit sweet in her heart, she thought to herself, "It seems like Linten is a good person. Maybe I can test him a little." Although he is only in the mortal transformation realm now, his displayed combat ability is even inferior to mine. If Linten's realm improves, I'm afraid he won't be beneath me. Is fellow Taoist Linten also like that? Well, my family has a secret technique. I started practicing at the age of 16, and now I have only been practicing for a year. I can become stronger when faced with challenges, and my cultivation realm will naturally improve. But what about Miss Wu? What's the matter? Linten pretended to hesitate, making Wu Qingran a little itchy and curious to ask. It's nothing, just that the dancing girl hasn't actually awakened her divine soul. If she does awaken, her talent would be terrifyingly powerful, comparable to ancient geniuses. Quote ? Wu Qingran was shocked. Is this true? But the Lord hasn't said anything like this. How does Linten know? Could it be that he likes me? And then he's finding an excuse to get closer. Wu Qingran hesitated, unable to figure out what Linten was thinking. But Linten is also a great saint of the Sea King. After all, he is a character created by Su Qingyang in his previous life, perfectly inheriting Su Qingyang's strengths. In this wave, it's like Su Qingyang has transformed into a fierce demon and entered his own book to fight against the protagonist surrounded by his own halo. Fortunately, there's the antagonist system, otherwise Su Qingyang would definitely have to hide from the male lead, Linten. No one understands the terrifying aspects of the protagonist better than Su Qingyang. Well, it's nothing, Miss Dancer, you will naturally know when the time comes. Linten teased, not going into details. After all, they haven't reached that stage yet, and their feelings are not strong enough. Saying it out loud would only make Wu Qingran dislike him, thinking he's just a flirt. Linten naturally wouldn't do such a foolish thing. When it comes to picking up girls, one must pay attention to the art of subtlety. On the other side, where Su Qingyang is, countless visions overlapped, and Su Qingyang finally completed his breakthrough in baptism. The celestial phenomena came to an end, and he was greeted with the admiration and praise of numerous disciples and elders. Lord Saint Child, truly an unparalleled genius. Lord Saint Child is already at the spirit wheel realm at the age of 18. Given time, he may surpass the achievements of the Lord. Yes, well said. Lord Saint Child is amazing. Quote. Su Qingyang waved his hand and returned to Yin Yang Palace amidst the pursuit and adoration of countless cultivators and the showering of flowers. Suddenly, a clever little follower ran over to report. Reporting to Saint Child. Saint Child possesses unparalleled talent, both in appearance and ability. It is expected that he will become a saint in the future. I have come to congratulate Saint Child. Cut the crap. Su Qingyang playfully kicked the buttocks of this little follower. He was one of his most clever followers, and in his previous life, he was a loyal lackey to Su Qingyang, ultimately dying in battle at the hands of the male lead, Linten. However, in this life, he would surely enjoy wealth and prosperity, as Su Qingyang had said. Saint Child, Saint Child, I saw the Holy Maiden return to the palace. Upon hearing this, Su Qingyang was shocked. Oh my, his junior sister had returned. If she had returned, Su Qingyang calculated the timeline in his mind and estimated that the male lead, Linten, must have also come to Yin Yang sacred land. Did a remarkable man accompany my junior sister? His name is Linten. Let me think. I'm not very clear on the name, but there was indeed a remarkable man who returned with the Holy Maiden. They seemed to have a heated conversation. He truly had an outstanding temperament. One that is unforgettable. The little follower described Linten. They were quite far away from the crowd, so they couldn't hear what the Holy Maiden was saying. However, they did notice Linten interacting with her. Because Linten was truly eye-catching, although he couldn't be considered extremely handsome, he couldn't compare to Su Qingyang at all. But that aura of an emperor, that domineering and disdainful feeling towards the world, the unwavering gaze, the graceful posture, and the indifference towards what others thought, openly provoking disciples of the sacred land, calling them low-level cultivators and not caring about them at all. Just these displays were enough to make people remember him as the protagonist. Little Six recounted the process of Linten's appearance, and Su Qingyang confirmed it without a doubt. He, truly a walking machine of arrogance, the passionate great emperor Linten. Laugh.jpg. I wonder if Su Qingyang in this lifetime will make you stumble. Spread my command, this saint child has a new understanding and is breaking through the spirit wheel realm. I hereby summon all disciples below the level of direct transmission to announce a new decree from this saint child to the Holy Land. Oh, remember not to inform the elders of the Holy Land. And if that Linten hears about it, don't let him come either. This saint child has something private to tell you all. Yes, Lord Saint Child. Upon hearing this, Little Six became extremely excited. The fact that the Lord Saint Child, who had just broken through the spirit wheel realm, wanted to find them, made him thrilled. It was obvious that the Lord Saint Child had new martial arts insights to teach them. This made him even more excited. Just think about it, an 18-year-old in the spirit wheel realm. Compared to the Lord Saint Child, they were still in their infancy. At most, they were at the peak of the true conversion realm, and even then, they were the highly talented and rare few. The majority of them were still in the mortal transformation realm or at the complete stage of the true conversion realm. But the Lord Saint Child was different. The difference was so great. It was like having a top student teaching them how to cultivate and progress faster. Once this news spread, all the disciples of the Holy Land would be in an uproar. One of the large classrooms in the Holy Land teaching hall. Today, there is a special course on cultivation. Title of the cultivation: 18-year-old spirit wheel mirror teaching, you deserve it. Introduction. Are you still worried that your elderly mother at home hopes for you to achieve great success, but cannot fulfill her wishes? Are you still worried about being stuck at a certain level and unable to reach new heights? Come to the Holy Land Teaching Hall, Room XXX, and learn from the Yin-Yang Saint Child how to enter the spirit wheel from an ordinary person. The title is undoubtedly exaggerated, but these are just marketing tactics. At this moment, the classroom is already full of people, mostly Su Qingyang's lackeys and some of his admirers. There are about a few hundred people, which is enough. The Holy Land only recruits elites and doesn't want more. The remaining weaker ones, who are just outer disciples, are not accepted. At this moment, Su Qingyang has changed into a teacher's outfit, looking refined and holding a teaching whip. With his extraordinary figure and talent, he looks more imposing. He first points to the blackboard and explains various aspects of the cultivation and training methods. Don't underestimate the experience potions that allow him to level up directly. They definitely contain the essence of the system, which directly helps him comprehend the key to advancing his realm. That's why he has stepped into the spirit wheel realm. Quote. The most important key to cultivation is mindset. When there is no woman in your heart, your sword will naturally be divine. Embrace a woman in your arms, slay monsters, and become a super god. In addition to explaining the main points, Su Qingyang also talks about other things, adding some personal opinions, making the group of single dogs who only know about cultivation open their eyes and realize that finding a partner is also a skill. Don't continue cultivating alone even when you're old and no longer attractive. It's not fun to keep cultivating even after death. Su Qingyang focuses on creating a certain atmosphere, sentiment, and understanding in all aspects. After a day of teaching, he is very interesting, and everyone listens attentively, asking questions and agreeing. No one feels sleepy at all, which makes Su Qingyang very satisfied. Master Su, you see, I just broke up last month. Is it because my cultivation level is too low that the female cultivator didn't like me? No, you guessed wrong. Look at these, your various experiences, have you treated her well? You're just comforting yourself. She never liked you from the beginning. She was just using you for your wealth and pills. Ah, Master Su, you are truly my benefactor. Without your guidance, I might have continued to be trapped by love. The cultivator screamed in despair, shocked. He realized that he had been nothing more than a lapdog. Chingy Yang also taught him how not to be a lapdog, that a man must be proud and not be suppressed by women. With this, the cultivator sat down on the spot, excitedly attracting the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. With a brush, he went from the mortal transformation stage to the true conversion stage. Chingy Yang's teaching effect was remarkable. Countless students were amazed and admired. In fact, these were just Chingy Yang's tactics. Many ancient emperors in the past used these methods to manipulate people's hearts. Chingy Yang was no exception, it was just for better publicity. Finally, he saw the opportunity, seizing the moment when all the students were intoxicated by his lecture. Well, today's class ends here. Junior brothers and sisters, remember the teachings and words of this saint child. They are the true essence of cultivation. Cultivation is not about being lonely and isolated. It is about cultivating one's mindset and realm. Yes, Saint Child is absolutely right. After listening to Saint Child's words, I feel a slight loosening in my mindset and realm. Saint Child, who reached the spirit wheel stage at the age of 18, is truly amazing. Ah, Saint Child is done with the lecture already. Will we still be able to hear Saint Child's lectures in the future? Hearing Saint Child's lectures has left me wanting more. I really want to hear Saint Child teach us these key points of cultivation again tomorrow. Hey, Saint Child, you have to quickly give us another lecture. Quote. The leading disciples looked at Saint Child with deep affection, and the other disciples followed suit, wanting to hear more from him. Chingy Yang pretended to hesitate, then made up his mind and said, "All right. I will teach you some of my personal cultivation secrets as Saint Child." Saint Child's personal cultivation secrets. Wow, I'm going to benefit so much from this. No one can stop me from listening to Saint Child's lecture. I will definitely strive to learn from Saint Child and enter the spirit wheel realm as soon as possible. Saint Child is amazing, I can't wait. Quote. Seeing the great effect, Chingy Yang began to pursue his true goal. To be honest, it's not really a secret. Last night, when I was observing the stars, the founder of our sacred land, who is also my grandfather, appeared in my dream. He said that in the future, an important figure will appear in the sacred land who is closely related to me, and this person will greatly help me in my cultivation. As for the specifics, even I am not sure. But my grandfather gave me an important message. This person will come to the sacred land with the Holy Maiden and will be by her side all day long. They are a person with great luck, and although they are young, they have a domineering appearance and extraordinary talent. Oh my, Saint Child. You actually dreamt of the founder of our sacred land. And he entrusted you with a dream. This. It's not that they didn't believe it, but such events were extremely rare on the continent and usually only powerful beings in the Ascension God realm could achieve them. And the founder of the Yin-Yang sacred land was one such being. So, Saint Child, did the founder say anything else? What will happen to the sacred land in the future? Ahem. Chingy Yang cleared his throat. In the future, if this person is with the book, the Holy Land will prosper greatly. Moreover, our ancestor has repeatedly urged me that the people of the Holy Land must unite in friendship, help each other, and protect the weak, otherwise they will suffer a catastrophic disaster. He said that the young man with great luck is extraordinary, growing up in loneliness and receiving little care and love. Therefore, we must not harm him. On the contrary, we should care for and influence this young man. Our ancestor said that this Saint Child is the future soul figure of Yin-Yang sacred land, but that young man is also extraordinary. If we become enemies, the Holy Land will surely perish and have no possibility of development. But if we befriend this young man and influence his lonely heart, the Holy Land will surely thrive and recreate the glory of our ancestor. Chingy Yang spoke with a generous expression, his words full of love, as if he were a pioneer in helping others. The disciples below were all moved and lost in thought after hearing Chingy Yang's words. Some even shed tears. Saint Child is truly great. It is because of Saint Child's kindness and care for us weak disciples that we can stay in Yin-Yang sacred land and cultivate peacefully. We will remember the words of our ancestor and Saint Child in our hearts and faithfully carry out Saint Child's will. As soon as Chingy Yang finished speaking, a sensible, Junior immediately shouted in response, as if preparing to be a pioneer for Saint Child. Yes, that person was Xiao Luzi, and with Xiao Luzi's enthusiastic response, other followers and disciples also joined in. That's right, Saint Child, please rest assured. With Saint Child and that young man with great luck, and with the words of our ancestor in our dreams, we, the disciples of the Holy Land, will spare no effort to fulfill our ancestors' instructions and satisfy Saint Child. Unite in friendship, help each other, protect the weak, help that lost and lonely young man. Oh, one more thing, grandfather said that this person's identity must not be revealed, otherwise they will face heavenly punishment. So when you help him, you must not expose yourselves. Saint Child, please rest assured. Xiao Luzi and the rest of us will be the first to fulfill the instructions of Saint Child and our ancestor. After quickly finishing the main points, all the disciples of the sect went back to review their notes in the evening. After all, Chingy Yang covered too many important points. Especially at the end, he mentioned that the great responsibility of the ancestor was entrusted to them, and they should understand the meaning of unity and friendship, and take care of the lonely luck boy. On the other side, next to the Saintess Peak, there was the Ziyun Peak, where Wu Qingran brought Linten. Phew, luckily we didn't take the wrong path at this node. In my past life, I worshipped Elder Ziyun as my master. Although she looks ordinary, she is the second strongest elder in the Holy Land after the Grand Elder. Moreover, she is a top alchemy master and formation master. Generally, those who can be called master-level alchemists or formation masters are among the top experts on the continent. Moreover, if Linten were to worship other elders as his master, he would feel somewhat guilty. It would have been fine in his past life. But in this life, as a great emperor reborn, how could he accept it with his inner pride? Besides, there is one more thing. Elder Ziyun will also be one of his forbidden concubines in the future. This is a necessary process. Otherwise, how could he obtain the second stunning beauty of the Holy Land? Linten, this is it. Ziyun Peak, an extremely mysterious and powerful elder of the Yin-Yang sacred land, named Elder Ziyun. Her alchemy and formation skills are extremely powerful. When disciples of the Holy Land break through, they listen to her lectures, and the powerful formations of the Holy Land also have to be approved by her. However, I heard that she has a more easygoing personality and doesn't pay much attention to external matters. She focuses on cultivation and is only strict on important matters. I'm not sure if you can pass her test if you go to worship her as your master. Because it seems like she doesn't have any disciples right now. A classic scene for the male protagonist. As long as it's a beautiful female master, he will be the only disciple, making it convenient for him to rise in the future. It's okay, Miss Wu. Our clan has experts in alchemy and formations. I believe I can pass Elder Ziyun's test. Linten's confident expression, although he didn't smile, his calm eyes revealed his conviction and strong inner self. He seemed like the kind of person who, once he made a decision, would definitely follow through with it. Wu Qingran couldn't say much after reading it. After all, when Linten took the initiative to say that he wanted to worship the strongest formation and alchemy master in the Holy Land, she immediately thought of Elder Ziyun. This Linten is good in many ways, but a bit too confident. I don't know if it's good or bad. Well, let's observe him for a while. Based on a woman's hunting intuition, it often takes a long time to assess and appreciate a man. She reluctantly had a good impression of Linten. Wu Qingran went back. Linten began. He possessed powerful memories from his past life and had various means, so naturally he would not fail this test. The process also surprised Elder Ziyun. This child indeed has extraordinary talent in alchemy and formations. It seems that his cultivation talent is also quite high. I might as well take him as my disciple and give it a try. After passing the test, Linten didn't focus on Elder Ziyun. Instead, he created a cave mansion on Ziyun Peak and began cultivating in it. He thought of a scene from his past life. Next month is the annual competition of Yin-Yang Sacred Land. At that time, all disciples in the true human realm and below in the entire Holy Land will participate. In my past life, I encountered that waste saint child Chingy Yang during that event. He saw me and Wu Qingran teasing and antagonizing me. I took the opportunity to challenge him while he was angry and successfully won the first place in the Holy Land test. The reward for that first place is extremely important for my future cultivation breakthroughs. I must not miss it, otherwise I would need to use other means to advance, which would be very troublesome. Linten started considering his plan. But how did that waste saint child advance to the spirit wheel realm? What the hell? I remember he was only in the mid-stage of the true human realm. Did I remember wrong? Well, I'll deal with it when the time comes. Fortunately, my start in this life is more perfect. I have awakened perfect cultivation talent, not inferior to various ancient geniuses. Dozan Shen Hun Ti. The more I fight, the more courageous I become. Even when facing challenges beyond my level, a strong desire for battle will make it easier for me to advance and reach the peak. To become the ultimate powerhouse. And this physique, it will also make me invincible on the path to becoming the deep affection great emperor. Linten's eyes flickered with a faint purple fire, and a terrifying desire for battle swept over him, only to disappear in an instant. He had already started looking forward to it. Looking forward to real battles. Looking forward to the same situations as in his previous life. Those moments when he and the Holy Maiden were teased and despised by the disciples of the Holy Land. And at that time, as long as he provoked a little, everyone would rush to his aid, helping him become even stronger. However, in his previous life, he was relatively miserable because he didn't have this physique. But in this life, he would be invincible, no matter how powerful the opponent. However, before that, I need to elevate my realm from the early stage of mortal transformation to the mid-stage of true conversion. It's a big leap in realms, not difficult, but I need to focus on the foundation. It just so happens that I've been back for a year, and my physique is almost at the level of integrated union. These 2 months, let me cultivate well. In the sect competition, I will make a stunning appearance. From then on, I will establish the name of the deep affection great emperor Linten. And also, Mother, who serves as a servant under Chingy Yang, please wait for me. Shaoshan will soon cultivate and improve, and personally defeat that waste saint child Chingy Yang. Completely let you live a good life. No more suffering like before. Yin Yang Palace. Husband, what are you looking at? Qin Shui looked at Chingy Yang, who was standing by the window, gazing at the distant scenery and the flying birds and cranes, with an admiring expression and warm eyes. It's nothing, Shui. I was just thinking about how wonderful it would be if we could continue to be happy together like this. What my husband said makes sense. Shui also wants to live with my husband like this forever. After spending some time together, Qin Shui genuinely liked and fell in love with Chingy Yang from the bottom of her heart. Regardless of various aspects, whether physical or spiritual, Chingy Yang truly cared about her feelings. Many times, he would prioritize her and only consider his own opinions on important matters. Qin Shui could feel it. From the faint blush on her happy face, she could imagine that her life had never been so fulfilling before. She only felt that her previous 36 years of life were like a waste. Only when she was with Chingy Yang could Qin Shui feel what love is and what it means to be loved. Well, sure, in 2 months, it will be the annual sect competition of the Yin-Yang Sacred Land. After discussions among the elders of the Sacred Land, they have finally decided to elect me, the Saint Child, as the examiner for the disciples' competition and the person who will award the first place. Ah, husband, won't you be under a lot of pressure? Well, it's okay. As a Saint Child of the sect, there are certain things that I have to handle. Besides, the elders have jointly recommended me, hoping that as an 18-year-old Spirit Wheel Realm Saint Child, I can inspire those disciples who are still stuck at lower cultivation levels. It is most appropriate for me to present the awards. Husband, as long as you're willing, don't overwork yourself. Well, then, sure, how about rewarding your husband? Chingy Yang turned his head and embraced Qin Shui, caressing her face and chin, his eyes filled with playfulness. Linten's mother is really good. Oh, husband, you're so annoying. Upon hearing what Chingy Yang said, Qin Shui blushed, but fortunately, her cultivation level had also improved, her physical strength gradually increased, and she was not worried about being exhausted by Chingy Yang. The two of them also began to live a carefree life. Saintess Wu Qingran stood at the entrance of Yin Yang Palace, her expression somewhat inexplicable. Since junior sister doesn't need the gift from senior brother, then return it. Hee, my proud and arrogant junior sister doesn't care for these things, so I'll reward them to you loyal attendants." These were the words spoken by her senior brother, the saint child, when they were still at the yin-yang stagnant pool. At that time, Wu Qingran felt a strange feeling in her heart. It was as if she was nothing more than a loyal maid in front of her senior brother. After thinking for a moment, Wu Qingran took light steps and arrived at the entrance, where attendants and guards immediately saluted upon seeing the saintess. "Is the saintess here to see the saint child, my lord?" Wu Qingran spoke softly, her expression calm. Since she had gathered the necessary resources, there was no need to hesitate any longer. From now on, she and her senior brother, the saint child, would be clear of each other. Inside the yin-yang chamber, Su Qingyang was peacefully cultivating. Generally, matters were reported to Qin Shui through attendants, and these attendants were quite clever. Seeing Qin Shui accompanying Su Qingyang every day, they understood that she had become the saint child's private possession. It was just a matter of time before she gained the official status. So when they saw Qin Shui, they also saluted. "Sister Qin, the saintess is here to see the saint child, my lord." Qin Shui was surprised when she heard this. Didn't the saintess just return? Why was she coming to see her husband? Could there be something important? "You go and call the saint child, I'll go ahead." Yes, Qin Shui, dressed elegantly, had naturally changed her style to match her own preferences when living in the sacred place with Su Qingyang. Although Qin Shui was by Su Qingyang's side, she was well aware that her status was inferior to that of the saintess. Moreover, she was very sensible and wouldn't put on any airs. She directly went to the palace gate to personally welcome the saintess Wu Qingran. But when Wu Qingran saw who had come, it wasn't her senior brother, the saint child. She furrowed her brows slightly. "Your Holiness, I am Qin Shui. The saint child is currently in cultivation. Please follow me to the hall. The saint child will be out soon." Qin Shui, is she the one senior brother mentioned before? Wu Qingran is not forgetful, and cultivators have almost photographic memory. She clearly remembers that this woman, who is much more imposing than herself, used to be the attendant of the saint child's senior brother. Now she has a different appearance and identity, commanding the servants. Qin Shui can't help but feel curious about her relationship with senior brother. Soon, Su Qingyang arrived. When he came, he guessed what his junior sister's intention was. After all, she came to find him right after returning from her training. Besides repaying debts, what else could it be? "You're back so early, junior sister." Although he subconsciously dislikes women who like to string others along, or rather, it should be said that the original Su Qingyang pursued this woman who clearly didn't like him, and brought it upon himself. However, Su Qingyang still maintains the necessary politeness. He is kind to others and knows how to get along. Seeing that senior brother doesn't have any extra negative emotions, Wu Qingran can't help but feel a sense of pride. She starts by asking, "How have you been in the Holy Land, junior sister?" "Good, very good. Not only have you made great progress in your cultivation, but your life is comfortable and your realm has also improved. I wonder how junior sister has been doing." Upon hearing senior brother mention herself, Wu Qingran's eyes welled up with tears. This past year has been a torment of life and death for her. There were several occasions where, if it weren't for the protection of the elders of the sacred land, she would have perished prematurely or fallen into a miserable state. Someone as young and talented as Wu Qingran, with her extraordinary appearance, would naturally attract attention wherever she went in the profound heaven continent. And there is no shortage of powerful individuals in the continent, so it is only natural that there would be evil people coveting her, especially during her travels and adventures. There were also numerous dangers from missions and demonic beasts. "Senior brother, I'm doing fine, thank you." She wanted to ask, but Wu Qingran wouldn't really say that she had a miserable time. However, she was genuinely curious about how her senior brother, the saint child, had broken through to the spirit wheel realm. Why did senior brother break through so quickly? "It took me countless hardships to advance from the early stage of the cave mansion realm to the later stage. It was a torment of life and death. On the other hand, senior brother, your breakthroughs seem as easy as eating and drinking. In just 1 year, you went from the mid-stage of the cave mansion realm to the early stage of the spirit wheel realm. It truly makes junior sister look up to you." Su Qingyang secretly smiled in his heart upon hearing this. Haha, he didn't expect this junior sister to say something nice. In his memory, Su Qingyang had received nothing but cold glances from this junior sister. Thinking of this, Su Qingyang was prepared to tease her. It's nothing. Just as junior sister said, it's as easy as eating and drinking to make progress. Oh, by the way, senior brother has found a wife for junior sister. Now you can get to know her. What? Wu Qingran's face froze, unable to react, while Su Qingyang directly embraced Qin Shui in front of her. Qin Shui, now dressed appropriately and with the ability to cultivate, had a rosy complexion, a round and smooth appearance, and a tall and strong figure, a G-level powerhouse. She exuded the charm of a mature woman, unlike Wu Qingran's cold and arrogant teenage appearance. She seemed more like an extraordinary beauty who was close to the common people. Wu Qingran couldn't help but feel that her own charm was unexpectedly overshadowed by this woman. I didn't expect Su Qingyang to openly admit it, which made her feel a sense of defeat deep down in her heart. She has always remembered. Her senior brother has always treated her well, providing her with good food, drinks, and fun since childhood. But today, her senior brother actually cheated on her and found another woman behind her back. This makes her feel like something of her own has become someone else's. Although she said in her heart and mouth that she doesn't like Su Qingyang, she really dislikes him. But Su Qingyang's continuous breakthroughs and direct confrontations have made Wu Qingran have some change of heart, especially since Su Qingyang stopped being a sycophant. It didn't give her that kind of close feeling that is closer than kinship, but instead made her have some goodwill. However, this goodwill has just arisen. In the blink of an eye, there is a new person for senior brother. This is coming too fast. It's too sudden, catching her off guard. At this moment, Qin Shui's face is delicate and blushing. She scolds. Annoying. What are you doing, husband? Don't you see the holy lady here? Qin Shui softly pats Su Qingyang's shoulder, but still leans on him, obediently following Su Qingyang's intentions and caring about his feelings. In contrast, Wu Qingran's face immediately turns a bit worse. She doesn't understand, which is not surprising. Clearly, her senior brother has a new woman, and she should be happy about it. But now she feels very unhappy for some reason. If Su Qingyang knew, he would definitely be annoyed. I hate this kind of not accepting it, yet not wanting others to find someone new. It's so disgusting. Seeing Wu Qingran's somewhat unpleasant expression, Su Qingyang feels delighted and speaks up. Sister apprentice, what do you need from senior apprentice brother? Wu Qingran had prepared many words in her heart, wanting to politely return the resources and casually inquire about senior apprentice brother's cultivation secrets. But since Su Qingyang didn't mention it, she could only proactively explain her purpose, not wanting to disturb senior apprentice brother's new relationship. Senior apprentice brother, do you remember when sister apprentice said she would return those resources? I remember. Sister apprentice has worked hard for a year and finally gathered the resources owed to senior apprentice brother. Although they are not the original items, their value is equivalent. Senior apprentice brother also said that spirit stones can be used to offset the debt. Single quote. After waiting for a while, Wu Qingran's expression darkened when she realized Su Qingyang wasn't saying anything. She had originally wanted to see senior apprentice brother's reaction, but there was none. After a long time, Su Qingyang spoke. Sister apprentice, what's wrong with you? It's nothing. These are all the resources sister apprentice is returning. Senior apprentice brother can count them if you want. It's fine, no need to count. It's late, sister apprentice, please go back. Senior apprentice brother still needs to cultivate. Wu Qingran hadn't expected that Su Qingyang didn't even bother to take a proper look at the resources, not caring about their quantity at all. It seemed that he didn't want to see her at all, as if giving her a hint to leave. It's still morning, and senior apprentice brother says it's too late. Speaking nonsense with his eyes wide open. This made Wu Qingran feel a great sense of frustration, as well as other emotions, all of which she couldn't express. She could only hide her expression and prepare to leave. Just as she was about to leave, Wu Qingran seemed to have something else to say, but as soon as she turned her head, she saw Su Qingyang lifting Qin Shui's chin and giving her a French kiss, leaving Wu Qingran stunned. The words that were about to come out of her throat had to be swallowed back. For the first time in her life, Wu Qingran felt a great sense of disappointment towards her own senior apprentice brother. In the end, Wu Qingran's expression was both disappointed and a little unwilling. She could only suppress her inner frustration and leave. 2 months later, the Holy Land was decorated with lights and colors, just like the festive atmosphere. Countless servants and attendants were competing to take care of the scenery in the Holy Land. Along the way, one could see a surge of people in the Holy Land, indicating that most disciples had come over. Because the annual sect competition in the Holy Land had begun. Those in the true human realm and below, under the age of 25, were eligible to participate. The Yin-Yang sacred land placed great emphasis on foundations. Those who could make a name for themselves at this age were more likely to be favored by the elders of various sects and given more cultivation resources. At the same time, the first prize in the competition was a treasure that could allow someone in the true human realm to advance to the cave mansion realm, as well as various special resources. Even those in the cave mansion realm would be amazed and covetous of such treasures. The second and third places were also highly sought after, followed by the rest. Linten, fellow Taoist, I'm afraid I won't be able to participate in the competition with you. I'm about to break through to the perfect stage of the cave mansion realm. Okay. At this moment, Linten stood beside the holy maiden Wu Qingran, with an extraordinary appearance. Not only did he have a lofty gaze, but he also didn't look away. Standing beside the holy maiden, hardly any disciples dared to approach. However, there were countless disciples discussing. Hey, who do you think that kid is? Standing so close to the holy maiden. He's even receiving treatment that not even the saint child gets. It's really despicable. Oh yes, if it were Saint Child, it would be fine, but even an unknown disciple like him can stand beside the Holy Lady. It really makes us jealous. I know, I heard that person's name seems to be Linten. He has been traveling with the Holy Lady several times. Do you think he is the illegitimate child of some elder from a sacred place? So arrogant, he doesn't even look at us. Clearly, he looks down on us. I have a feeling. Oh, I suddenly remembered what Saint Child said, outstanding talent, exceptional appearance, extraordinary aptitude. Could it be that the patriarch was referring to this person? Countless disciples from various sects discussed and gossiped with each other, clearly speculating about Linten's extraordinary presence and his relationship with Wu Qingran. HMPH, a bunch of trash, daring to talk about me, the Great One. Well, later, I, Linten, will make my appearance and completely shine in the entire Yin-Yang sacred land. Even though Linten had achieved the great emperor realm in his previous life, in this life, after a year of stagnation, he finally cultivated to the true conversion realm. He was ready to go crazy and kill in the sect's grand competition. Finally, the anticipation of breaking through the realm all the way. I'm really looking forward to it. I look forward to fully unleashing my battle god soul physique, becoming more courageous and stronger in battle. By then, how will my reputation as a young great emperor fare in the outside world? Linten's inner thoughts were proud and dismissive of these matters. His goals were very ambitious. He wanted to climb to the pinnacle and the summit. At this moment, Wu Qingran went to the audience seats, while Linten went to line up to participate in the competition. An unfamiliar disciple cultivator walked up to Linten. Are you Linten? He's here. In my previous life, it seems that useless saint child Su Qingyang blamed me because of Wu Qingran. In the end, I stepped on him and became the #1 stepping stone. Even if in this life, you, Su Qingyang, become a spirit wheel realm, so what? I can still continue to fight, break through, and surpass you. Because of his integrated union physique, after a year, he could finally enter the passionate and boiling moments. Feeling a bit restless, his thoughts were quite straightforward. This person should be the first one sent by Su Qingyang to test and provoke me. Su Qingyang, don't blame me, Linten, for being ruthless. How dare you covet my woman and make a move against me? I will make you wish you were dead. Linten was domineering in his heart, and anything related to himself could not be touched even a bit. As the male lead, he must have all the resources and beautiful women. Linten's heart was slightly excited, thinking that the disciple was sent by Su Qingyang, and wondering what he would do. Ah, junior brother Linten, it's junior brother Linten. Everyone, Come and take a look. Oh, please make way for junior brother Linten. It's too hard for him to stand in line alone, too lonely. Wow, so this is junior brother Linten. Junior brother Linten is really cute. Even though he's young, he has already shown great potential. His appearance is extraordinary, and he will definitely have a bright future. Wow, so this is junior brother Linten. Brothers, step back a bit, don't scare junior brother Linten. The leader of the group of disciples had been lurking by the side of the saintess, and now he finally saw the main character, Linten, the person hinted by the saint child. His eyes immediately lit up, and he approached, shouting to the surrounding disciples. This caused a complete chaos. With the shout from the disciple, the long queue turned their heads to look at Linten. After that, they kept praising him, praising his handsomeness, cuteness, and how hard it must be for him to cultivate alone. They asked if he needed their care, if he needed spirit stones, they could lend him some, or if he didn't have any, they could give him some. Quote exclamation mark dot 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 quote. Linten was speechless, or rather, stunned, his expression completely blank. What's going on? Linten's expression suddenly froze, his heart filled with shock, unsure of what had happened. Meanwhile, when the disciples of the Holy Land saw Linten's stunned state, they thought he had been frightened by being surrounded by so many people, like a baby panda being observed. They became concerned and started shouting. Don't crowd around like this, don't get too close, it will scare junior brother Linten. Our junior brother Linten has had a difficult life since childhood, he has practiced diligently and is used to being alone. Being watched by so many people, it's inevitable that he feels uncomfortable. Give him some space, give him some space. Yes, this senior brother is right. We should take care of junior brother Linten and not have so many people together. Everyone, spread out a bit, spread out. So, leaving behind the more isolated individuals, Shaoluzi stepped forward and grabbed Linten's hand, greeting him in his bewildered state. Junior brother Linten, sorry about that. It's the first time we're meeting you, so it's a bit unfamiliar. Don't worry, we mean no harm. We heard from Saint Child that you haven't had a good life since childhood, and we disciples of the Yin Yang sacred land are united and friendly. It's definitely not like the scheming and infighting you might think. By the way, here's a little sincerity from me, Shaoluzi. Take it and use it for inspiration. I hope junior brother Linten can win the top spot in this sect's grand competition and further advance in your cultivation. Oh, by the way, junior brother Linten, you must have just joined the sect to participate in the competition, right? It's okay, I'm quite familiar. Let me introduce the rules of the competition to you. Shaoluzi's face was full of enthusiasm as he began explaining the rules of the competition to Linten. It was nothing more than elimination through comparison, followed by a slight separation of the higher-ranked participants, waiting for the lower-ranked ones to compete in battles with GU insects, and finally, the remaining individuals would fight one-on-one, relying on luck and personal strength. And so, Linten was enthusiastically led by Shaoluzi to the presence of the competition examiner, directly entering the selection process. He was completely bewildered, not understanding the situation. What happened to the provocation? What happened to being despised and opposed by everyone in line? Wasn't Su Qingyang, that useless person, supposed to hate me and Wu Qingran's teasing? What's going on? Why is the atmosphere of the Yin-Yang sacred land so friendly? So united and friendly. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.